And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Purple Pill Pod, episode 5 of the dating show, the number one show in the world for dating. Please make sure to like, subscribe, go follow on my podcast, Instagram, TikTok, tag below. DM me on the Instagram if y'all are ever interested in wanting to come on the show. I need more singles all the time. Shout out to my producer JR tonight, back in the building after a week away. And we got Donnie doing operations manager. I appreciate y'all. And then Cornerstone Entertainment or Cornerstone doing a lot of everything in the background. Thank y'all so much. Tonight, I got a super special show. I got Auston back to settle some more scores. And then we got Pearl here tonight. Somebody who's hooking me up fat. She's been doing so much for me since she's been in town. I can't say thanks enough, Pearl. Thank you for coming on. And she's gonna kind of co-host this dating show. And then we also got Don here. Why don't all three of y'all tell everybody like what y'all's tags are really quick so we can shout y'all out real quick.
My YouTube is Auston Holleman. That's AustonHolleman.
Okay. What about you, bro?
My YouTube is Chef Don. That's CHEFDON.
Okay.
My YouTube is just Pearly Things.
Okay. Perfect. All right. And then we'll start over here with the ladies. Why don't y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves? Let me know your name, your age, your education level, and where you work. And if you want to, your credit score, I'm just kidding. You don't got to tell me that one.
I guess I'll go first. I'm Emily. My Instagram is extrovertedly Emily. I'm working in marketing, so I do social media, and I'm also working in my own personal brand as well.
Oh, nice. Hustler. All right. What about you, ma'am?
My name's Katie, 29. Graduated. I was a teacher for 5 years. Decided to leave after last year. I have my own nonprofit, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
You talk a little closer if you could.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me now? But yeah, so originally from the Bay Area, but been here for 11 years. And yeah, I have a lot to say about dating. That's for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. What about you?
Hi, I'm Brianna. My Instagram is brie.sellingdallas. I do have a bachelor's that I do nothing with, so just want to put that out there. I'm a realtor and a florist.
Okay. Nice. Okay. And everybody, y'all, their Instagrams are also tagged below already in the description. So if anybody wants to find them that way, you can also find them that way. Why don't y'all introduce your name, your age, your education level, and what you do for work, even though I think we already know the last part of that.
Okay, my name is Pearl. My education level is I'm in school to get my master's, and I'm a YouTuber.
Okay. What about you, man?
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Don. I have an MBA in Business Strategy and Innovation. I work at a tech company in Austin, Texas, and I'm also a content creator.
Nice, man. What about you?
I'm Auston Holleman. I'm 23. I have a high school diploma and a barber's license.
Everybody's heard this from you for the third time now on the dating show.
I got it scripted now. And tomorrow's my last day as a barber, and I'm a YouTuber.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
So why don't you tell everybody what's going on and why you're not going to be a barber anymore?
I'm jumping out on a leap of faith going to Thailand, and then I'll stay in Brazil permanently.
Wow. Right.
That's awesome.
Nice, man. No, so everybody go support him, please. So because he needs to live his life out there the best way he can. So everybody, please go support him.
Yeah, I got to get away from y'all.
You don't even know me yet.
Yeah, what the heck? Come on, man.
I already know. I already figured you out.
Oh, all right.
Now we're assuming things already.
Trust me, I got it.
All right.
Wow.
Well, normally to start the dating show, we'll ask some more about y'all. We'll just do a little bit. I'm not going to do as much as I normally do because I want to get into some really juicy conversations. Just really quick, I just want to know what hobbies does everybody have? Like, what's your best hobby? Just for the people watching, since you're single, they might be like, hey, I got that same hobby. I would love to hit that girl up over that.
Yeah, I'm into content creation. That's definitely my biggest hobby right now. I got my degree in musical theater, so I like going to plays, theater, movies, any kind of and anything in the entertainment field. That's my jam.
Okay.
I like to date a lot of musicians, so if you play an instrument, I love that.
Okay.
For me, love working out. I love being out and about. I need to travel more. So Brazil sounds pretty nice.
It's not for women.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Brazil?
No.
Oh,
It's
already
just
coming
for-
in hot. I see. It's
it's just
okay.
for
I'm used
men.
to it.
There's literally a song
Safe
about a
Lives.
woman. What?
We'll get
That
to
was
that.
Anyway, I was sharing. But yeah, I just like working out, being with my family. I'm a big Jesus supporter, and I know that's why I'm here to kind of bring a different viewpoint on dating. So happy to share and kind of maybe bring a different perspective than maybe what we're not used to here.
Oh, that's good. What about you? What's your best hobby or your biggest one?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it short. I just really like floral design. It's not. I do own a business, but right now it's basically my hobby.
Okay.
So, and I like working out as well. But
Hey, that's the best way
Yeah.
for a business to start. You need to love it.
yeah.
So what about you? What's your hobby other than what you do?
A lot of people don't know this, but I do freestyle.
Ooh.
No way.
Yeah, I do. I do.
You know that anytime somebody says that, we need to have you drop a bar as soon as you say it.
As soon as I say it.
Yeah, since you said that, you have to drop a bar. Anytime somebody says that, we're always gonna say drop a bar.
She's on the
Facts.
spot.
Hey, what's up? I'm the new sensation. Hey, what's up? I'm best in the nation.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay. Shit, I could not have pulled that out of. I could not have pulled that out of my ass like that. I would have been stone cold on the spot for that
I,
one.
I,
Yeah,
I
I
would
would-
say I'm better at guitar. I do play and sing too, but freestyle is like fun.
Okay,
That's cool.
that's a good hobby to have, honestly.
Yeah.
What about you, bro?
Me, anything fitness or sports related. So I really like skiing, go karting,
Ooh.
working out, anything fitness related.
That's cool.
Okay. What about you, bro?
I like traveling. Of course, I said I'm a barber, but I really like controversy a lot, so I like to debate.
Very
Talking.
clearly.
Yeah, talking is very fun.
But it's legit debates. I'm not just debating just to debate. So
Yeah, like not just talking.
yeah, I'm about to shut you down.
Me specifically or all of
All
us?
three of y'all.
Why are you coming in
Let's
so
go
hot
ahead to
though?
the juicy.
I like that.
I was
Come
listening
on.
to y'all's conversation.
What was the conversation?
Don't say
Yeah, no. So,
First question.
so this is already getting juicy. I want to know what beforehand triggered you or made you feel this way, and
Very
and
triggered.
I want to know. I want you to take it out right now. I want to hear it.
I heard her say misogynist.
Uh-huh.
We need to leave that word out of here today.
Okay.
Facts.
Okay, but so let's talk about that word a little bit more.
It's new.
So do you like why did you use that word? Like, do you think there's a lot of misogynists today?
Okay. Well, first of all, let me just clarify what happened.
Mhm.
I came in asking, what does the red pill movement mean?
Mhm.
Okay, that's literally what I asked.
Yeah, like what do we think that it means?
What does it mean? Because I grew up in the 90s and I watched The Matrix when it came out back in the 90s. So not to date myself, but I'm dating myself on purpose. And what I saw from that movie was Neo was given a red pill and a blue pill. And it was either you go back to this virtual reality that has been created for you, or you take this other pill that's going to take you into reality and it's going to suck,
Mhm.
but take this pill instead. And that's what he does. I don't remember which one he takes. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. So then I asked her, okay, but can you clarify? Because that seems pretty self explanatory. Taking a pill that's going to be explaining or opening up, broadening out your mind about what you're not used to or what you're not comfortable accepting. You've grown up accepting a certain reality. So then the red pill is about broadening up your mind, right?
Mhm.
And then what we then started talking about was how the red pill movement has turned into a misogynist view.
Like man against woman views instead
Right.
of just like the unspoken truth about life. It's kind of like about relationships and men and women, you know?
Mhm.
So that's all we were saying. We were just
Right.
kind of clarifying.
There was never any
before we got on
accusations
here.
that
Mhm.
occurred.
Well,
I know.
I think the red pill guys take it a little bit offensive because red pill is supposed to be just a rule set, I guess you could say, or
Mhm.
something to kind of it's not supposed to be like an ideology, is what Rolo would say.
Mhm.
The guy that mostly created, he would say it's a what's the word? It starts with a P.
Praxeology.
A praxology, yes.
Mhm.
So that's why he might have felt some type of way when you said that, because it's not supposed to be a movement in that way. It's not supposed to be an ideology, you know?
Mhm.
That's
Well,
what
I-
we were clarifying
Right.
with each other.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
go ahead, Pearl. I'm sorry.
Well, I think it's just a lot of people like call it misogyny when it's not.
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's
So let's define misogyny before
Right.
we
Yeah.
start
the
everything.
hatred of women.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
Were you all
Yeah, a lot
saying
of people
like
hate women.
the red pill is like rightfully so misogynist, or were you saying like people are labeling that wrongfully?
My question was, what is the red pill and why has it turned into a misogynistic ideal? That was my question.
Mhm.
I
Like-
never made any accusations. Like when I sat down, literally, I was just asking a question.
Pearl or Austin, one of y'all take over on this
Well,
one.
you said why has it turned into a misogynist ideal?
Hmm.
So you think it's misogynist?
From what I'm aware of and from what I've seen so far.
Okay.
Clips. What's on?
Yeah,
I
some
guess
of the-
really
Yeah.
what's on the
Some of
internet.
the clips I've seen
can I have an
have
example?
Mhm.
reeked of misogyny.
Can I have an example?
Just putting the fat comment the other day, that was inappropriate. I don't know why we made that comment or how we thought that was okay.
What was the
Which
comment?
comment?
If you're over this amount of weight, no man's ever gonna love you.
How is that misogynist?
What's a realistic comment?
That would be fattest, maybe.
How's that
Are
a
you talking
realist
about
comment,
me?
though?
What was the
I don't
weight?
know. I just saw clips. I haven't like tuned in live yet.
Okay, I
but-
didn't say no man's ever gonna love you.
Okay.
I
What
said-
did
I
you
said-
say?
I said
'Cause
no
it was
one-
rude either way.
I said no one looks good over 300 pounds.
And that's a personal opinion.
Yeah, but it's rooted in data. Like if you look at
How is a personal opinion rooted in data?
because okay, we're talking about general opinions on the world and the way that the world views you. So if you look at dating app data, fat girls get less swipes.
Well,
Okay.
okay, but that's your personal experience.
No,
Well, that's not
no,
hers. That's the data's experience.
Yeah.
But okay, but
Data
the
from
data.
what?
But this is apparently
App,
skewed
dating
data.
apps.
The app? What app? Bumble, Hinge?
I don't know,
whatever.
any
I'm
of them.
Tinder?
Can
I
you
say
list
something?
No,
the
but see,
apps?
but now that's
Yeah,
generalizing.
I'll list apps if you don't know.
And
We'll list
so
them,
and
and
I'll give you
I'll agree that it's all of
I'll
them.
give you the context of the conversation. Like a lot of times as women, like we don't live in reality, and I don't really understand why. Like in general in society, thin people get more attention. Thin people tend to be better looking. I'm not the skinniest girl around, but I can say that girls that are
Maybe in
thinner
a
than me-
Western society.
Hold
tend-
on, real quick. I can also say having all friends who have they're beautiful, have the best bodies,
Mhm,
you know, are fit.
mhm.
When we go out, I talk about this all the time. It's
Mhm.
usually I would be like, because all of them are really like usually most of my friends are Hispanic.
Mhm.
I had to talk to
Usually.
myself and be like, dang, maybe it's like
What'd you
because
say?
I'm black
Usually.
and they're Hispanic, you know, like maybe that's why they get chosen. But really, it's because, like you said, if you appear more fit,
Mhm.
that's just kind of what guys want.
Mhm.
Personally, I don't go for I go for a guy who looks more fit and like, you know, health wise.
And that's all personal opinion, baby.
No,
Look
but
at that.
I'm just saying in Dallas, when we go out to the club and stuff, guys aren't going for me. Like they're going for my friend who's more fit, like, you know, more up with, that's just
And that might be
my
an issue
truth.
with men.
I also now want to
But why-
also
but
give
see,
my
but-
personal
but
experience.
why
here.
are you shaming men for their standards? Because this is the thing. This is like a common shaming.
I'm not
topic.
shaming.
Like
I
because you
just
said that's
disagree.
that's
gonna
an issue
piggy-
with that's an issue with men. That's what you said.
I'm gonna
And so you're
piggyback off
I'm
of
not
her.
immediately- you're
shaming them. I
immediate-
just disagree.
Because you're saying that that's an issue with men. That is shaming. That's shaming language.
Okay.
And so you're basically
Well-
when men say this is my standard, and then you say, oh well, it's an issue with men, and it's
Didn't
not.
you just shame someone for making a comment of like, oh, if you're a fat girl, not gonna get swipes? Isn't that shaming?
No, it's not shaming.
Isn't
It's based
that
on.
fatphobia?
It's based on data. It's based on what
Okay.
men tend
well,
to like.
The data
And
seems
so,
a
and
little
so, and so, and the other thing
inaccurate.
that we took out of context in the
Do
conversation
any of y'all
was
like
that
fat?
Do you?
Okay.
I'm not shaming fat people, but would you like to be fat yourself?
No.
I mean, I take care of myself.
Would
if
you
I-
like to? Yes or no?
Would you like to be fat?
No,
I don't
would
mind
you
it.
like
It
to-
Yes
depends
or
on the
no?
context.
Yeah, I'll
No,
be
in
fat.
the
That's
context,
in
yes.
she's
yeah.
asking you.
Yeah, I'll be fat.
Yes or no?
But nobody
Yes.
wants.
You
to
would
be
like
fat.
to be fat?
Yeah.
Yes.
You would like to?
No.
Yeah,
Or-
that's
or
how
you
God
wouldn't
If
mind.
she's
created me.
happy,
So that's
If
all
she's
she's
happy.
all
But
she's
he said,
saying
"Are
is
you
on a
happy?"
balance.
One heart attack away from death.
All she's
And you're
saying.
close to
That
heart
doesn't-
attack too.
I'm not.
Weight does
Where's
not
the
determine
facts
if
on
you're
that?
gonna have a
Okay,
heart
well,
attack or
let's
not.
let him
Here,
finish.
clear the mics
I
really
was
quick.
an EMT. Thanks though.
All she's saying is on a balance of probabilities. Men
No.
would rather go with the more fit woman than the bigger woman.
okay,
It's
excuse
Define
me.
that's
fit.
that's
Excuse
not.
me.
That,
Okay,
I need
we
to
know
speak.
what-
I need to
we
speak
know
now.
what fit means.
No,
You're-
everyone's definition of
we
fit
know-
is different.
no.
Let me say
no,
something. We
the-
need to wait our turns.
No.
That's what I was gonna say.
The-
First of all, I was invited onto this podcast as a guest to share my opinion. Let me share my experience
gonna
and my
go
opinion on
piggyback on
something.
me.
Okay, yes.
What- you were
Initially,
talking, right?
Yeah, I
okay,
was
so
talking.
Yeah,
I
never got
lived
to
in
finish.
Egypt.
I never.
I
got to
lived in
finish.
Egypt for 4 years. All right. In the Middle Eastern culture, women that are bigger, okay, are actually desired over there. All right. So we are right now talking about our Western experience
Correct.
of beauty standards.
That's where we at.
Yes.
We are currently here, but we are now also generalizing the whole world about saying that, oh, only thin women get attention. That's not true across the world in a
we're-
general sense.
Nothing's
Excuse me, I'm
true.
not done.
You
So
cut me
when,
off as well.
okay.
Nothing's true across the world.
This is not a fair debate.
Yeah.
All right.
You've
So
cut me
in
off
my
multiple times.
experience, when I was living over there, the men actually desire a woman that is bigger because that means that they're being fed, they're being taken care of. That is a woman that is of the household that knows to take care of her family.
But
Well,
this
sound
is-
like she
but
got a
this is-
man
Now
already.
I'm done.
But this is the thing when
Oh.
you're looking for the exception and not the rule, and this is what women always do. Whenever we don't like an uncomfortable truth about the world, we'll say, well, in this one remote part of the world, there's an exception rather than the rule.
Okay.
But in most countries across the board, people prefer thinner women.
In your experience in the Western society, Now
No,
you're, but
no,
you're
actually,
generalizing. Right now
actually-
you're generalizing.
So actually, no, that's not necessarily true. I grew up like traveling to different countries. I've lived in Germany. I've
Mhm.
been to India. I live in England right now.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty cultured. I grew up with nannies from across the world. I grew up
Mhm.
with Russian nannies, South African nannies, Brazilian nannies.
Mhm.
It was the same. So yeah.
So
Well,
back to what
Yeah.
stemmed this whole conversation. You labeled it misogynist, and then you went and said, well, that's kind of sucks. Well, that doesn't feel right. This is all feelings. You haven't told us why it's
Well-
misogynist, because we can flip the script, and the same thing is true with men as well. So it's not like we're attacking women. This holds true for men and women. You're just labeling it as misogynist because you don't like the way that it feels towards you.
Well, fat phobia, that comment just kind of threw me off, to be honest. I've only watched clips of this podcast, but the clips that I have seen in regards to dating have been misogynistic.
well, I want to ask you a question. You said the bigger women are more desired by men in Egypt.
Mhm.
Why again? You said because they're being fed, right?
Because that means that they're coming from a household that they're being taken care of.
Who's taking care of them?
Typically a man.
So what man wants a woman that already has a man? I don't wake up in the morning and say, I want a woman that is already married and being fed.
He's
be
basically saying
surprised.
he's basically saying
I think
why
I
are
want a
you
single woman. Yeah.
So you're saying why are we comparing
No.
single women that are bigger getting
Well, I just
chosen?
think
So-
that made too
I'm
much
sa-
sense.
I'm not trying. Yeah, I know what I'm just saying. So you're saying like, why are we comparing ourselves to married women if we're we're in a culture right now we're single?
Well, that's like me
So,
saying
you know,
I'm
the dating
attracted to
pool.
women that have wedding rings as opposed to the ones that don't.
Okay.
Like I said,
So-
well, being in that position and being around my friends who get chosen over thicker women, really it just motivates me to get in the gym. So I feel like it's like
That's the
I'm
crazy
like,
thing
dang.
is weight you can change. Like you
Mhm.
can
It is
change
changeable.
that
That's true.
shit.
Nobody's saying that bigger women are just worthless. What they're saying is on a balance of probabilities. If you look at X woman that's fit, and we're going based off of the doctor's definition, we can't say there's no definition. If we go and look at statistics, we can say what falls in what range. There's a full range of weights. So
I was
if you-
just
You know,
asking.
wait, can I just get just a general from the men? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you guys prefer thinner or fat? So would you rather a girl that's 120 or 300 pounds?
120.
Just curious.
It's
120
for me.
120 or 300?
120.
120 or 300?
120. I'm in the
What
gym.
about you guys? 120 or 300?
120.
120. Man, speak for yourself.
Do you like
Okay.
fit or y'all like fit women, like skinnier women? Because I feel like there's a difference between thick and fat, like thick and overweight. You know,
Well,
like there's women who just carry more weight, and they're still fit. They still work out. So it's like, are y'all just saying, period, women who are overweight, women that's what y'all don't like? You don't like women who's like just way past coming back, if that makes sense. Like she's kind of like you said, y'all are referring to a 300-pound woman, but not every bigger woman's 300 pounds.
I
you
don't
know,
like borderline fat though.
okay.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
weighs more than me, but I'm a skinny guy, so
Yeah.
that's easy to.
Me personally,
easy to
she's
do.
got to be in the gym. So I don't like the twigs per se, and I don't like the larger women.
Yeah,
I kind of
same.
like, we're both in the gym. We probably like women that are in the gym.
Also, muscle weighs more than fat. So if you say, "Oh, I don't want a woman who's over 200,"
Yeah, but we
she
said
could be
300.
bulked
Well, okay.
out.
Well, we're
and-
talking about the
Because
the
you-
flabs and all that.
No, I mean, you brought up the clip, and in the clip I said 300 that you said was fat phobic. And
Yeah.
that's the
It's a
no
little.
at
I think-
300 pounds,
Scared.
it's muscle.
Phobia means
I mean, I
scared.
don't know. You're just throwing out random numbers and seeing what
What is she scared of?
sticks. And so,
No,
like,
I
beauty
used the
is
number that you
subjective.
gave.
Yeah.
beauty is
Well, we're in the United
beauty-
States, so let's stick to this country.
I'm around like 195.
If not,
Let's
just
put
move
that
to a
out
different
there.
country,
All right, but in this country, there's a
So-
lot of migrants that come here as well, so keep that in mind.
and they become Americanized.
Okay, that's
that's
also
a word.
generalized.
So
That
if we
means
were-
generalized.
yeah,
So I just made that shit up. Americanized. You never heard that.
yes, of course I've heard that.
Okay, so that's a thing. That means they adapt to this culture, Americanized.
But that doesn't mean that they always carry. Oh, my beauty standards that I grew up with are going to change immediately because I came to this country.
It doesn't, but they become Americanized.
I want to know
They're
actually,
gonna-
why are you moving to Brazil?
Oh, I became
The women there are
Brazilianized.
thick,
You-
beautiful. Oh
Yeah,
my
there's
god!
a lot of
Like
curves
seriously,
over there.
Brazilian like women. I think beauty's
Well, the
subjective,
thing is,
and everyone's so
the-
beautiful in their own way.
Mm.
Well,
Period.
That's not true.
You can
Bullshit.
weigh
It is
110
subjective.
pounds,
Okay,
210
well, you asked me a
pounds. Beauty
question.
is beauty.
What
period.
about what
You are
about for
very
what
rude.
about what about for men?
My name's Katie.
What about for men,
You're
Katie?
very rude, Katie.
What about
You
men?
need to
What
let
about for men?
one
She
person
hasn't
at a
said
time.
anything rude to you.
You asked me that question. I didn't get a
Yes.
chance to answer it. I said
If I
became
don't jump in,
Brazilian.
I think I won't be able to say
See,
anything. So
this
I agree.
is a
I'll work
horrible-
on it.
You have the floor.
Thank you. Table. I'm fit. In
Mhm.
Brazil, they have a fit culture.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
In this culture, 80% of the women are overweight.
Where are the facts on that?
That is a
You
fact.
can Google it.
Well, I
That-
am an exercise science major also, y'all. So look,
That's good. I didn't
Mhm.
know that. That's a
That's
good fact.
a lot. But
Kevin
our
Sanders
whole
taught me that.
country, our worst disease is heart disease,
Rest
and
in
that
peace.
comes from obesity.
Yeah.
So let's just.
But I want to go back to
Okay.
to the question that I asked him. Why do you want to? So you said that you're going to Brazil, but before that, where are you stopping?
Well, they don't interrupt me when I'm talking either. In
Thailand.
Brazil.
He's
So-
going to Thailand.
So why are you going to Thailand first?
Just to visit.
Okay, and then you're going to move to Brazil. And what was the purpose? Why did you
I
choose?
went to Brazil in February. I ain't been the same since.
Okay.
Good
I
for
loved
you.
it.
I mean, why don't you tell them? Like what are the women like there compared to here?
yeah.
Well, they would. I wouldn't have to say, "Hey, wait your turn." That's the first thing. Second, they're in the
Whatever makes you
gym.
happy, bud.
Again, these are very general.
Third,
You just interrupted.
general.
them.
I'm talking about y'all. Third, their hygiene is very good on average compared to the average American woman.
Okay. Do you know that it's mostly comprised of Aborigines people in Brazil? Correct.
I don't care about that. I'm just talking about what I experienced.
Okay, in your
Yeah,
experience in
I-
the small city that you probably went to, what was it? Sao Paulo? Like, where did you go?
I went to Rio, but I'll be staying
Okay,
in
Rio.
Salvador this time. And Rio is not a small city; just 6 million people.
I
that live there.
apologize. That was me assuming. I didn't know what city you went to. So you went to Rio, right? So you went to
Yeah.
a major city over there. Have you visited the rest of the country?
No, I mean, but
Okay.
how many?
So there
how
we
many?
go.
How many days are in a year?
Why is that relevant?
Well, I mean, I want to know how quick you think I can do that.
I'm not okay. I'm going back
Here's
to you
I
making
want you to donate me some money
generalizations.
for me to travel through that whole country.
I want you to donate to me to put up with your
I mean,
attitude.
I'm gonna do it. I
Okay.
don't need a donation, but I'm just being smart ass because if you want me to travel the whole country in 8 months,
Mm-hmm.
that's not cheap.
Of course not. I
Better
never
start
said that it
saving
was.
then.
Yeah.
Well, it was a very smart remark.
Well, you've been making very smart remarks all night.
You're
Hey, speaking of smart remarks, everybody go like the video.
Please.
I like your shirt though. Where's your shirt from? To lighten it up a little bit.
From the United States. And
I meant the
Express.
store. Oh, Express. Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
I like
it.
Express.
I
It's a
dig
nice
that shirt
floral
too, bro.
design. Moving on.
Their denim's nice.
No, so I wanted to also talk about something specific tonight. I wanted to talk about the gender pay gap. If we think that it's at a good point right now where it's even and men and women are doing, like feminism has done its job and it's right there even, or has it gone too far? Are women killing men or are men still killing women? Like, what's the gender pay gap to everybody here? We're going to start this time with you. Go ahead with you. And then we'll do the ladies and then we'll go around.
Okay. Okay. For the record, I do know a few statistics. Okay, so if we're going based on, say, a man and a woman both start the same career at 20 years old, and assuming they have a 40-year career span, Asian women, I feel like, well, to answer your question, I'm not completely 100% sure what it's like at this exact moment. So I just want to let everybody know that, just so you know.
What do you mean, the pay gap?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's 80 cents to the dollar currently.
Okay, so Asian women, I just know Asian women, they can
In the United States,
they can
sorry.
retire when they're 65. White women around 71. Black women around 85, and then Hispanics, they can retire by the time they're like 95. So if that
Mhm.
gives y'all any insight.
I never heard that before. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
so
No, a good answer.
Brazil
So,
is in-
what about you?
Well, I do know when it comes to filling out job applications, for those that are in the minority communities, if you don't have all the requirements, they won't apply. And so that's typically African American community, Hispanic, and they just don't get the same opportunities that white people do, like straight up. Like, and I have a whole nonprofit that works on helping those disadvantaged and marginalized communities, inner city kids. I was a teacher, so that's where my passion is. But kind of looping it back, there is an issue. Women's sports, we're seeing a lot. they're taking a stand, voicing their opinion. Obviously, men's sports is dominating, but there's some amazing athletes in the WNBA.
Do you watch the WNBA?
Yes. I haven't been to
Or
a game
US
yet,
soccer.
Are you fully
Who's
aware?
your,
I'm-
who's your favorite player?
Oh, not that
Bird.
again.
Sue Bird.
Oh my god.
Sue Bird.
Well,
Okay.
a lot of people just don't watch it.
I thought you were gonna say.
Are
Brittany
you
Griner.
aware of how a business operates?
We're just answering questions.
I
right
know,
now.
but
We'll
are
come
you
back.
aware of you
Yeah.
mentioned
Yeah, I
like
am.
women's sports? So in
I'm
a
aware.
business,
Are
if
you
you're in a
aware?
deficit, do you keep paying people more money based off of a company in a deficit?
I'll get back. I could do some research and Google it and
Do
get
you
you
even
an
know what that
answer.
means?
Yes, I do. I don't appreciate the condescension.
So if a
If
business
we're
is
gonna have a
making,
mature conversation, you don't need
business
to be
is-
Mature
condescending.
conversations
But-
are one person at a time.
but there's nothing
We're
to
all
research.
sharing
There's nothing to research. It's a
one at a time.
it's a pretty simple question. Like if you have a business and you made negative $10 million, would you
Okay.
go out and pay somebody $10 million?
Again, I'm not going to answer subjective, random questions just so
That-
you can prove a point
But that's
and
how.
be attacking. We're going to share, and then we'll loop back to you so you can share.
All right, yeah.
Go
Go
ahead.
That's
ahead.
the
Let me
host
know
right there.
what you think about the pay gap. Do you think it's well? You just said 80 cents to the dollar.
Yeah, that's according to, because again, I didn't know what the topic of this podcast was going to be until last night. So I did very minor research
Mhm.
and just on Google. So let me just state that. And according to the minor research that I did on Google, I found that it right now it stands at 80 cents to the dollar.
Mhm.
And it was in 1963 that it was Kennedy who helped pass the bill in Congress to pass the Equal Pay Act, the EPA. And it wasn't until the 90s when they were trying to get the Paycheck Protection Act to pass, or the Paycheck the PFA. I can't remember. Anyway, and it wasn't until the 90s and it did not pass. So it's been how many years since the 60s? And back then it was between 53 cents to the dollar. And mind you, it wasn't, and again, this is very minor research. I'm not an economist. I only know a little bit of the little research that I did. So please don't come at me of that. Women finally came into the workforce very late in life compared to men. And it wasn't until after World War II or during World War II that women finally came into the workforce and started being taken seriously. And when they finally had that taste of independence is when they wanted to be able to get equal chances, equal pay for the same amount of the same kind of work that they were doing when the men were out fighting. And then when the men came back and they were all disabled, they still had to be the main breadwinners for the family, for the family unit. So I just think equality and now again, so then it's been since the 60s, right? So now we're in 2022. And we're still suffering from that pay gap. And as she was mentioning, there is a difference also in pay gap in races as well. And that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. Well, everybody, please like the video. We got a bunch of people up in here. Please like it up. This is the most we've ever had. Thank y'all for showing up. Really quick, I'm gonna ask this question, but then Pearl, I want you to go in on the gender stuff or the pay gap.
Okay.
Question to the blonde: does she hold a WNBA season ticket and buy the players' jerseys?
Do you want to buy me one? Do you want to go together?
It'd be pretty cheap. You could just get
I'll
one.
go with you. Honestly, I really want to go to some football games. Really want to go to some b-ball games. Hey,
It's nothing.
I'm happy
it's
to
real
support
cheap.
women.
Women's
So
football.
hey, if you want to go together, hit me up.
Yeah.
And she said she'll pay.
I got you. I have enough money.
Leo Moore.
If you're broke.
Leo
You
Moore.
probably are.
Leo Moore said, and who is paying for women's? Here, click it again, JR. And who is paying for women's OnlyFans?
It depends. Who's watching? I'm actually.
We never said we didn't appreciate that. I don't have an OnlyFans, but I'm sure women appreciate you men for paying for that OnlyFans monthly. Thank you on their behalf.
Here, we're gonna go back and let Pearl. I want to hear because I honestly don't know a lot about the gender pay gap either. I just learned a lot from them, so I'd love to hear this side.
Yeah, I think in 2022, any girl that complain, I'm not talking about race because that's the first thing people always bring in. I'm talking about female to male. I think in 2022, if you're complaining about the pay gap as a woman, you're probably just lazy. I have never had a problem getting the same pay as a guy. One issue is that women don't ask for raises. So 60% of women have never asked for a raise and they quit before they ask for a raise. So how can we be afraid, or how can we be mad that we don't get paid as much if we don't ask for more money? Second thing I would say is that we work less hours, so they do studies where they see how many hours a girl works, and we actually get paid more when you account for hours worked. And the industries we choose, we'll talk about equal pay when it comes, or equal, they want us to be in like the 1% and all that stuff, but they never talk about the positions like plumbers, bricklaying, any of the hard jobs women don't want to do, so we get paid less because we don't like to do hard jobs or ask for raises.
I feel like also women are like obviously mothers, and I feel like who gets called when something's wrong with the kids or something needs to be done at the house, the woman usually goes and takes care of that. So like you said,
what's wrong with the house?
No, I'm saying like the men, if they do like she said, men put in more hours.
What you said, if something's wrong with the house, who gets called?
No, you know what I mean. Like usually your husband or your man is the provider, so you wouldn't be like, oh, hey babe, can you leave your providing job to go to the house and meet with the guys who are checking the roof? Usually he would send his wife to do that. It's It's just kind of that type of thing.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Can I jump on what she said, actually? Because she brings up a really good point. Women actually are not asking for raises because we've been conditioned to not rock the boat. We've always been told, you know what, stay quiet, don't really make any noise. Like maybe eventually you'll get a promotion if you're well behaved, you keep your mouth shut and always do what you're told.
Yeah,
that's why.
It sounds like an excuse to me. I've always been able to go ask for a raise if I wanted a raise, so I have no sympathy.
And that's great.
I have no sympathy, and I'm not going to blame society if you're too scared to ask for a raise. Grow a pair, ask for a raise.
And I agree with you 100%. I think that should be the attitude for women. We should all be taught to think like a man. To be thinking like, okay, because that men have always been told, you know what, you deserve that. You should ask for that.
But it's not society, it's gender differences. We're more agreeable. So
correct.
I agree. But that's not society, that's innate. Because what they do is they take women from countries that are more free and less free. And the pay gap increases with the more freedom we have.
Are we talking about corporate jobs? I just want to clarify real quick, because most of the jobs before I was self-employed, I did like hospitality, like serving jobs. And obviously as a woman in a serving job, I make way more money than the boy servers.
And that's
servers.
The other thing.
So I can't really like debate at the same time, because I'm like, now I make my own prices, but before I was making more money than the men in my job because I worked hospitality and stuff like that. So
yeah, in certain industries, women definitely dominate, even in like barber versus hair salon. Like women, hairdressers make more money.
I think a good way to kind of encourage women to ask for raises is like for society, when a woman's asking for a raise,
learn your worth.
When a woman's asking for a raise, don't be like, oh, she's being aggressive, because men are praised for doing that. Oh, good for you, man, for asking for that raise, for doing that. Then let's praise women for the same thing as well.
We get praised all the time. Again, like
we're making generalizations.
If you ask for a raise,
I could use some praise.
If you get asked for a raise, like honestly, nobody's gonna call you aggressive. Like that's just bullshit.
You don't know
excuses.
that.
No,
it depends.
You don't know that.
Too.
I do want to say my mom's coworker. She asked for a raise about a few times, like more than a few, and she actually got honored her raise like about, I think, like 3-4 times. But she's still asking for a raise over and over. Like, so they did call her aggressive, but also she did get a raise 3 times, and she doesn't deserve a raise, but she was called aggressive for
they might call the men aggressive too, but the men say, okay, screw you, I'll go get another job.
They don't ever talk about it again.
What?
We don't hear from the men when they get called aggressive. Like you said, they'll go find another job.
Yeah, like they're not going to sit there whining. They just say, okay, screw this, I'll go to another company and get my pay.
I want to give my experience on. I actually made more than a man in a sales job that I was at. I was making $17 an hour compared to my guy counterpart. He was making $15, and the only reason why I was making $2 extra an hour was because I spoke Spanish. So I had to do on the phone. I had to speak both English and Spanish on this job. Well, I was told very clearly to never say how much I was getting paid at this job. I was told to keep my mouth shut, don't say anything. And they specifically told me the starting rate for this job is $15 an hour. So I would appreciate, and I would hope that you honor code, that you don't talk about it. Okay. Months went by. I didn't say a word. And it wasn't until, I slipped up. I was taking a break, and, this guy had been there maybe a year longer than me, and he was still only making 15. And I said, oh yeah, no, and 17 an hour, that's really good compared to, what, and it just slipped out, right? Human error. And I kid you not, about 2 months later, I got fired.
It's a conflict of interest as well, because it's just kind of like, yeah, you're bilingual, but then it starts, he's going to the boss's office like, why is she doing A, B, and C?
And he did. And he
Mhm.
did, and he actually made a scene about it that I actually walked away because I felt so uncomfortable. He made me cry in front of the whole sales floor, and he was saying like, "How dare you have, because you're already showing off with your Spanish skills. So why is it that you have to actually make more than me when because I wasn't gifted, I wasn't blessed to speak two languages. Why is it that I have to make less than you?" And I was like, because I'm actually doing double the work. Don't you, like, why are you shaming me for A, my value, B, my experience? And I cried in front of everyone because he did that so publicly. And again, I tell you, 2 months later, they found a way for me to be let go. And that, to me, I've always carried that because I was actually very proud that I was like, wow, I'm actually making more than my male counterparts. This is really exciting. Like, hey guys, maybe the pay gap isn't real. That's what I was thinking. And then that happened to me, and I was like, wow, what a coincidence.
But I think that's more like you disobeyed what they said. And I know it was on accident, but like they told you not to. Like it's just like they told you that there would be a consequence if you did that, or they
Okay.
said not to, and then
And
you
I
did
accept
it.
that. I accept that 100% that was definitely my fault. However, I think that there should be, so that we have equality of the workplace, why can't we have open transparency of payments if we're all doing the same job,
I
right?
hire people. I'd rather not do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Like I said, I feel like that's a conflict of interest. And then, like, what happened, they were trying to avoid that scene. Like, everybody knew, obviously, you deserved the $2. You had your credit from your bosses. Like, you didn't need credit from your coworker. Well, that's probably, I feel like that's how, as, like, that's how they look
But I
at it.
think
the problem is people start to get entitled because they feel like exactly what happened in that situation. So if I'm hiring 5 people and I know this guy's the most productive, right? And I know he deserves more money, or she, whoever it is. And let's say I pay them $75,000 a year and I pay someone else 50. When they find out about the gap, the other person might feel like they're just as qualified and they might feel like they do just as much work. But I'm the boss. I see who actually does the most work. And that's why you can't have pay transparency, because you have people that feel like they're worth more than they are.
And I think on that note, though, wouldn't it be nice for everyone to know going into the job, okay, this person right here actually is making a little more because they have an extra skill that I don't have. Why don't I go out and learn that extra skill so that I can be price matched with what that other person is?
That sounds nice. And I think if I was like when I was on the other side, I might have agreed. But like people just start to get entitled. And even if they're a whole hell of a lot less productive, like it's night and day, it's like people just have this ego. And it's like you can't.
And I agree.
Even with that guy, like everyone else probably could have said she deserves more money.
She's bilingual.
She's better.
You're
But
not.
even when they have that, like that's not even just a guy thing. Like that's just a human thing.
I think also it was the shock. I think and this is just me putting myself in his shoes for right now. I think it was more the shock of him learning that I was making, and he was there longer than me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm saying I think it would be more fair for everyone on the floor and everyone in the job to know how much each person is making.
So if that happened, you probably wouldn't have got the 17 to start.
No.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean, because like I'm thinking of it from the employer's point of view. Like if I have this one guy, maybe he's like a mid employee, right? So like he's making 15 an hour, and I bring in this new girl, and I'm like, oh, she's so much more productive. She's gonna make my life so much easier. She deserves the 17. No matter what, he's still gonna feel some type of way because he's been there longer.
Sure.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that men and women's pay should be equal?
I absolutely do.
So why did you say you were happy when you were making more than your male counterparts?
Okay.
Did you get that from the comments?
I did, and that was a good point, and I'm asking you now.
Interesting.
I agree. Okay. And here's the thing. I agree that everyone should be making the same amount. However, like I mentioned, I was actually doing double the work. I was actually having to speak in the Spanish language and the English language. And not only that, in my particular sales in the Spanish division, I had to actually explain what it was that I was selling. So not only was I selling, I was also having to describe what it was that I was selling. Whereas in the English department, everyone knows what a home security system is in the United States. But in other Latin countries, a home security system is literally the dogs of the house. And so to have to explain that, so like literally I had to spend an hour on each phone call. So it was really exhausting work just to like talk about that. So yes, to answer your questions, I believe that everyone should be making the same amount. And here's another example. They ended up hiring another dude, and he was also making 17 an hour. So we were both doing the same job. He was making 17, I was making 17, and he was speaking Spanish.
Good.
Well, no, here, I'm gonna get to you in just a second, bro, so we can keep doing the same thing. But let me read some questions, and everybody get the likes up. Let's get 100% engagement, please. We got more people than we've ever had watching. This is a bomb ass show. Thank you all for coming. Please share it out to everybody else. We got a question from Gail. She says, question for ladies: if there is a wage gap and men are so misogynistic, why aren't more companies hiring only women? If your statement is true, it's profitable to hire just women.
Hold on. Why aren't more companies
But you're
hiring
also
only women? Why aren't
who
more
said all
companies?
men are misogynistic though? Are we making assumptions, Gail? Now
Men are
can you
so
rephrase the question?
misogynistic. So
I'm sorry.
She said, question for ladies: if there is a wage gap and men are so misogynistic, why aren't more companies hiring only
Oh,
women?
great question. We should hire more women.
I agree.
Me personally,
Why not?
I feel like if I'm doing more, I should be making more. I wanted to double back before I answer this question because I feel like, there should be. I don't agree per se. It's like we shouldn't have a wage gap at all because just like she said, more women are getting hired, and it's like I said, women do make more money. She like Pearl said, women do dominate, and there's women who make way more money than men do, and it's just kind of like at this point, I don't want to say women are like lazy, but I mean if you want to make more money and I feel like maybe instead of our priority being the home, like maybe it should be more work if we want to if I don't know I don't know. And maybe that's not said right, but
I'm a steal a comment here from Mary. It says pay should be based on productivity and skills, not gender.
yeah, I
So
agree.
that's a good
You
statement.
like
And
her
I
comment?
think for the most part it is. I think women just don't want to do like the most stressful jobs that are worth more money. And I can see it in my company. Like I pay my recruiter double what I pay my personal assistant. My personal assistant tried to be my recruiter for a week. She hated it. She was like, you could give me double the money and I do not give a shit. Like this job's horrible. It is. Recruiting for oh my gosh, you know the struggle. He knows the struggle. And and it's like women don't want to do stressful jobs. We would rather just like, and women I think are better at like more organizational stuff. So she's really good at being like a personal assistant. But unfortunately, like one is more valuable to me than the other.
Yeah, and I worked at a warehouse this year, actually at Target warehouse, and I can attest to that. Like because the pay gap was obviously the men on the side where they're moving pallets and unloading trucks, they're making like 24, and then I'm like packing online orders, I'm making 18, 19, but my back was hurting, hips were hurting. I'm like, I can't do this long. And then men come home and they're like,
It's
beat
nothing.
up, horrible. I'm like, so you're right. Like a lot of women don't want to do manual labor. I personally don't want to do manual labor for too long. I will if I have to, but I mean, I was willing to make 18 instead of 24, so I wasn't like unloading trucks.
And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Like when
It's not. I
I say that when women are like, I'm saying the ones that are using the pay gap as an excuse, they're just lazy. But like the girls that actually work hard and are trying to do stuff, they understand why men make more money.
Yeah.
And I think just to clarify, I think you're talking about a specific job with the same skills and the same kind of like work performance, correct?
What do you mean?
Like what you're saying, like repeat what you just said.
Which part?
I think basically
all of
she's
it.
like
There-
asking like, you believe that men and women should make the same if they're equal in stance. They
Correct.
work the same.
Yeah.
everything.
I just wanted to make sure that
I-
that's what you were trying to say.
I mean, I think men and women should be paid if they do the same job and work the same amount of hours and ask for raises the same. But unfortunately, those things are not the same.
There you go.
Okay, here, I'm gonna just do this one question really quick before we go to you, bro. Question to Pearl: as a boss, you're also speaking from a place of entitlement?
As a boss, I'm speaking from a place of entitlement. How?
I don't see that at all, man. She had to work
don't
to
think
get to
so.
where she's at. Anybody that's a boss probably. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's trust
look
fund
at-
babies that
I mean-
start businesses with their parents' money, but a lot of people
Bosses,
work to get to that.
bosses also have a budget. So it's kind of like you're going to pay your employees, like you said, with the work that they're putting out. You don't have just endless amounts of money to pay everybody equally and what they think they deserve. Like you said, it really goes by. Obviously, if you're getting paid more, the boss behind the scenes sees the production that you have more production than the next person.
I pay my employees before I even get paid. So it's like, because YouTube's like delayed.
Facts.
All know,
All right, so I want to hear, what do you think about the pay gap, man? Do you think that it's too much in one favor or the other? What do you think?
I think that there are a lot of studies that have been done to kind of like debunk the wage gap. I definitely don't think that men should be paid more on the dollar than women by any means. But in this one study that I looked at, they did it. The average of all men working in all male jobs, and then the average of all women working in all women jobs, and that's where that average came out too, right? So like women traditionally aren't engineers. Women traditionally aren't construction workers. Women traditionally don't put 60, 80 hours in of work. That's why you see, marriages failing, because the woman is like, yo, when are you going to come home? Like, I'm sitting here at home waiting for you. Men aren't sitting at home waiting like, yo, when are you going to come home? Right. So that is a lot of the reason why there's that wage gap. And then there are also a lot of outside factors, right? So like whenever she mentioned like underprivileged, and this goes back to like race, right? A bunch of underprivileged people, right? That's because of the area that they're in. But whenever you look at the wage gap, we're looking at monetary. It's not factoring in where you come from, who your parents are, right? What you were taught. So there are a lot of outside factors that affect that whenever you look at it completely monetarily, it doesn't completely line up. Like, I don't think it's $1 to 80 cents, because exactly like that person said earlier, technically, if women are getting paid 80 cents for exactly the same work that a male is doing, it would be dumb for me to be like, hey, let me just hire as many men as possible. And then, so true with, we're in 2022, right? There are a lot of agendas moving forward to hire minorities and women. And I see it in my field a lot. Like, I come from a very diverse company. There are people that look like me, people from all different walks of life, right? There's a lot less white people than than I saw 5 years ago. Yeah, it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But we can't go back and say, oh, in Europe it's a lot of white people, or in 1999 it was a lot of white people. We have to talk about what's going on current day and what we're doing to move forward. So.
I agree.
What about you, Austin? How do you feel about it?
I would agree with him. I really don't give a damn about this pay gap shit, man. I think it's all bullshit, if you ask me.
And it's really generalized. Like, it's really hard to like be
bullshit.
specific on certain things.
It's just bullshit.
All right. Well, another thing that I really wanted to check. Well, here, I got Rod asked a question. Question for the ladies: what is the outcome of your endeavors in making more money and/or equal to a man? What is your ladies? What is the outcome of your endeavors in making more money and/or equal to a man? We'll start with you. Yeah. Question for outcome of your endeavors in making more money. What do you wish to get out of your life with making more money? Because you're very career driven. You know.
I feel like for some reason I'm not understanding the question. It's not that I'm dumb. I'm really not understanding.
I think I understand.
Can you go?
Okay, so I want to double back to how I said I made more money than men at my serving job. I think the plus of that would of my outcome, like the outcome that came of that, me making more money than men in a restaurant setting. I wasn't coming to work complaining about not making enough gas money or money to eat, or like the men were making $50 in tips and I was making $200 in a few hours. So it's just kind of like, I don't know if that really answers your question, but
I feel like what his question was meaning, it's a little bit
what does that
confusing.
mean? Yeah.
But we'll just go to this next one, Gail. Question for the panel: Is diversity of color good? Can you click that again for me, bud? Is diversity of color good or diversity of thought? As a person, wouldn't you be offended knowing you got a job based on gender or race, not merit? Affirmative action for you.
Yeah, that's a good question. That that's tough, because on one hand, I want, if I'm given if I'm given the door open to me because of affirmative action, I'm going to take it because that's an opportunity that was finally open to me that probably wasn't open to me before. And of course, there is maybe a guilt factor to that, I think. And but wouldn't you want to try to prove yourself, because you're going to get fired, right, if you're not performing the job to the degree that you were hired for, I think. So sure, there's going to be a little bit of guilt. Personally, if that were to happen to me and they open the door for me that would have normally been closed, of course I would walk through proudly and I would try to work twice as hard to prove my worth so that I'm not fired right after. I think that answers that question.
There's a question up there, Jada God. He said he means
Talking to it.
Oh, he said he means plans. What are your plans with the money you receive?
Yeah.
Since making more money is so important to you.
That's subjective, right?
So something in the red pill space is they like to talk about how women trying to make their own money or make more money than men. That's a very negative thing because a man likes to be the head of the house. He likes to make the most money. So I think what he's kind of trying to ask is, if your goal is to make more money and stuff like that, is that in line with your end goal? Are you going to try to get a man with that money? Like, what's your goal with going and becoming a boss and making more money? You know, are you trying to have kids? Are you trying to have a family one day? Are you trying to find a boyfriend? What is it really?
Depends on the person.
I just feel like I want to bring to the table what I want my man to bring to the table. Like, I feel like I can't ask my man to make A, B, and C and be this wealthy provider if I can't also provide if he's down, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but that's my goal with my money. It's not that I want to outdo my husband. It's just I really want to bring to the table what I expect my husband to bring to the table, because not everything's good all the time. Like with your man, like, you know, he could be wealthy and then one day lose everything, and then I'm just sitting there like.
And you're ready to provide.
Yeah, and I want to be able to cushion that and make sure
it's a good backup.
Okay. Absolutely.
That's really how I see
it. For me, I'm single, so for me, making money, working, I work hard. I'm a hard worker. I've had hands in different sectors, education, medical. I'm a hard worker, and I want to save that money to purchase a home for my future family, and I am able to support myself. I support myself financially. I do not rely on anybody. I do not rely on any man. It's just me. And if I know my future husband, he's out there somewhere. I don't know where he is. But if I do make more than him, I don't see that being a problem. And I'm not looking for a man that has a lot of money. For me, it's all about character first. Because a guy could have, millions and be a jerk, and I don't have time for that, and I don't have a desire for that. So there's nothing wrong with being a strong, independent man, making that money, strong, independent woman. It's attractive to me personally. If I see a man who's working hard out there, making money, supporting himself, if he has children, he's supporting those children too. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. We need to be financially independent.
This man keeps saying how men don't care about us because of our money, but men, I feel like it's to answer his question, it's when I'm single, it's not about a man. Like, I'm just hustling because I want to hustle. Like, I know men don't care what we bring to the table. That's apparent. It's just, I mean, I don't think it's a problem that women want to make some money. Like, I'm single. Like, I'm high maintenance. I like to get my lashes, toes, nails, and I don't ask a trick or somebody to pay for my stuff. So I want to have my own money. That's all that really is.
Okay. So what about you? Like, is there an end goal to make more money? Like, what do you think?
It's okay, I'm used to it.
So personally, the reason I want to be independent is, and this is going to get a little bit personal. The reason why I want to be financially independent and not have a man ever, I don't want to rely on a man, is because I am the product of that. I am the product of a woman having to depend on a man to survive financially. And I was raised to believe that I will not have worth. I will not be able to have the independent freedom, or do anything that I want to do in life without the support of a man. And that, I think, is one of the reasons. I'm single, okay? And I've done a lot of work on myself. I've gone to a lot of years of therapy. Never married, don't have kids. And I think I admit that one of the reasons why I'm still single is because I kept going for the wrong men. I kept going to the men that would try to save me. I was always, and we've always been taught to look for a Prince Charming, right? That's what we're taught with Disney. And so I was always looking for someone to save me, take me out of my parents' house. I want, like, provide for me. And they kept using me. I kept getting,
Using you for what?
for my body, for
How's he saving you if he's using you?
because I was letting it happen.
What is this?
But what is he saving you from? You said you went for the man that saved you, but he used you at the same time.
Right.
And
And
you
that's
kept
why I'm
getting
saying.
what?
And that's why I'm
I
saying.
can't save money and use it at the same time.
I think
No-
she said a
no,
man.
no,
She
no.
goes
I
for
think-
the.
So
that
I'm
was-
just curious. Was he spending money on you? Is that what you meant when you
Mhm.
said?
Yeah, he was
So-
providing for my rent, providing for everything. I was
But-
living
That's
with
an
him.
equal
and so
exchange.
so then how are you getting used for your body if he was paying money for your rent? Couldn't he say he was being used for his wallet?
No, and that and therein
Wait,
lies the issue.
Can I,
Because that wasn't my end goal. My end goal was never to use a man. I never wanted.
but
That's what I was trained to do. That's what I thought. I always have wanted to be independent, but the opportunity came for me to move out of my parents' house because he was going to move me out to Kansas City, and I lived with him for a few months. And obviously the relationship became toxic because he
The typical
So-
sell you a dream type of man, and
Right.
you take
but
it, eat
what
it up.
dream is he
Right.
selling you? He's paying your rent.
No, her dream.
No.
She said she was raised on the dream or idea that you
Well,
need
I'm
a
not-
man to come in and save you. So
Mhm.
when that man came in and was like, "Hey, let me move you out. Come live with me."
I thought it
rent-free,"
was going to be
like-
Prince Charming. I thought that we were going to be traveling, and like I wasn't purposely selling my body or anything
So
like
what
that.
did
That
he
No,
was,
I
do?
didn't say nobody.
No.
Nobody. Don't do
Okay.
that. Don't do that. Don't.
I'm just trying to clarify.
You tried to play that victim role. Nobody called you that.
Okay.
He
Hey,
was. He
everybody, 1 second. Get the likes up, guys. We gotta get 100% engagement,
He-
please.
Was,
Go
he
ahead.
was paying your rent,
and subscribe.
I was living in his
Subscribe.
apartment.
and what else was he providing? Everything.
Food, everything, all of it. He was
And
providing
you think he
entertainment,
used you
all
for
of it.
sex?
I mean, that was your man.
I felt as if I wasn't living to my fullest potential because I was living off of his means.
So how did
So
he?
you want to be independent and you don't want to give up sex. So that's why you're single.
And you were
No.
taught that way. He
I
wasn't.
was
He didn't
told-
grow
I
up
was
that way.
told-
If somebody's playing, if somebody's giving you,
What you were
No,
raised
explain yourself.
to.
I want to know what you're trying to say. I want to know what you're trying
Wait,
to say.
can I clarify something?
he's taking care of everything, and you think sex is too much of a trade off?
Did you feel
No, I
used
never
when
said
he?
that.
You felt
Well, you
used
said he
when
was
left?
using you for your body.
You can be
When he
manipulative
left.
and use someone
Manipulated for
their
what?
body.
How?
Yeah.
Speaking from experience.
That means her
I mean,
parents.
I'm not gonna
did
lie.
that.
You guys
honestly-
act like, come on, we're good. We like sex too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
Yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah.
saying. I'm not saying
No,
that.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm
But-
not saying we had great sex. Don't get me wrong. Okay,
Oh, so you
that
wasn't
not.
getting used.
You
wait,
can even
you-
in a relationship and in a marriage, you can be violated.
But how? She literally said her parents raised her to be that
Hold on.
way,
Yeah,
and then
from the beginning,
So how-
little
it's not his
girls are
fault.
sold this
No,
book
and
of
I'm not,
Prince
and I'm not
Charming.
blaming it on him.
Wait.
I've never put blame on
But
him.
I
I'm putting actually the blame on myself.
Did you feel used when he left? Is that what you're saying? Or
I
I'm still so confused.
Me
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
so,
No,
so
no,
I'm
okay.
just
I
saying,
just want
No,
clar-
I'm
I
not
just want
doing.
clarification.
I'm not doing a good explanation. Listen, how do I explain this? Because this is the first time I've ever explained this, and so that's why I'm a little, shaky on my explanation. I was raised in Venezuela and in Latin countries, really, in any other country. You're always taught as a woman to look for a gringo, to look for the provider. Okay. And that's what happened to my mom. She found this Mormon missionary white guy, and she latched onto him for dear life. They had me here in the United States. And then when we went back to Venezuela, because obviously that didn't work out, when we went to Venezuela, I was always, that's what I saw. That's what I grew up thinking. That's what's normal. I need to go find a man that's going to take me to the promised land, take me back to the States, take me back to where I'm from. And it didn't matter what he was, what he did. Just go towards anything that's going to give you a good financial stable life. And again, there was sex involved, there was other things involved, but that was never a priority. That was
It should have
never
been sex involved.
I'm just
We
confused.
were in a
What did he
relationship.
do wrong? That's why I'm
Well,
super confused.
No,
So
what
we-
I did
how do
wrong.
we-
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
The only reason I'm confused is because you said the word used, and when you
Yes.
say the word used,
Sure.
it sounds like you're like a victim in this
Of a
situation.
parasite.
But the thing is, like, the more you describe the situation, I'm
Mhm.
like, this sounds great. He was taking care of you. You said great sex.
Yeah, yeah.
So how, like, if you were also enjoying the sex, how could you be used?
Because he was just using me for company.
That's what
I
that's
was
what he's
never
supposed
loved.
to be. Y'all in a relationship. I
But
don't want
he
to be
never-
alone.
But here's the thing, he never
So
told
you're
me that he
using
loved me.
Wait, can we clarify to the people in the comments how we spun off and got to this?
No.
conversation?
Let's
I-
go. They can rewind. Go ahead.
There was I fell how about this? I fell in love with the idea of him, and
Mhm.
and he never really loved me. He enjoyed my company.
That means he loved you.
No, he never said he
I'm
loved
not
me.
moving nobody in if I don't love you. That is bullshit.
How long?
Unfortunately, there's
how
There's
long
people
was
out
it?
there who do that.
How long was it?
Did you
It
think you were a
was
slave?
from April. No,
Okay.
from I want to say April. It was 2015, so it was from April to October. From April
So
to
it was like
October.
6 months.
About
And who ended it? You or him?
he
Oh,
did.
he ended it.
Mhm.
Okay. So it was more like you were mad you wasted your time.
No, because it was a good learning experience.
Okay, because
Mhm.
to me it sounds like a good relationship.
That's what I'm
Like,
thinking
I
too.
know,
I'm
it's
so
like-
like
right,
confused
right,
It just
right,
sounds
no.
mutually beneficial to me.
This
Mm,
was getting dick
Right,
down.
and
Is he
I
single?
yeah,
Yeah.
no. Well, I don't know. He
Yikes.
blocked me.
Yikes.
So
I would have blocked you. If I paid your rent and everything and groceries and all that, and you
Mhm.
say I used you for sex,
no, again.
You can
I
use
know that I'm
someone
a little
for sex
shaky.
in a
Wait, was he not
relationship.
providing enough
No,
for you?
sex
Because
is expensive.
earlier in the talk, you said
Not
that
for
you
me,
wanted to
it's
go on
not.
vacation.
I
you wanted to do all
want.
this
I
stuff.
wanted the relationship to
You
continue,
need emotional support.
and I needed emotional support, and he wasn't giving me that.
And was he working too much? Like, why wasn't he able to give the emotional support? Did he get off
Because
work and
he-
he didn't want to watch a movie with you or the TV shows you wanted to watch? Like, what was it?
That's all we did was watch TV because
So he
we
spent a
were
lot of time
quiet,
with you.
What else
because
did
we
you
were
wanna do?
quiet. He didn't want to talk to me. He just wanted my company.
But that's men. Like men.
Yeah,
and,
a lot of-
and honestly,
But
like
that's excusing behavior,
no,
right?
it's not excusing behavior. It's just understanding the genders
he's
are
just a
different.
weirdo.
Like what if the guys say like women
That's
talk
not a
too
good
much?
man right
That's
there.
Yeah, that's me.
like I've been in a relationship where at the time like I felt like it was rude because he was like I don't want to talk right now.
Mhm.
But that's just I learned that's just men. Like men, it's like they want you to be there,
Mhm.
but they don't want you there. It's like they want you like down the hall. There's like a Patrice
And-
O'Neal skit.
And that's what I'm saying is that I entered that relationship. We entered that relationship for different reasons. I went into that relationship thinking, oh, this man is going to take me out of my parents' house. I'm going to be able to live a good life.
Be
and
a
he
wifey,
went in-
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he went into the relationship of, well, I'm moving to Kansas City. I've never been there before. I don't want to be alone. And I just want the company. And so there was no real love. And that was a good learning experience for me because now I know, okay, I don't want to be dependent on a man because when he kicked me out, I was literally living out of my car. I didn't have anywhere else to go.
well,
And so I learned a good lesson there.
And that's and it
and-
doubles.
But
Yeah.
you're-
And to go back and just to like spin it, why I want to be making my own money
Mhm.
because that's where
No,
we're going back.
you should make your own money.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to make my own money so that I never have to go through that experience again of being kicked out of what I thought was a dream life because I was told you're going to have your dream life if you follow a man. And when that dream fell apart in front of me and I was living out of my car with my cat and literally had to go to job interviews with literally all of my life in my car, I learned a big old lesson. I want to be able to make my money, not have to depend on anyone because if that falls apart, I'm on
Stop
my
torturing
ass.
cats.
But the issue is that you make men of the future pay for the mistakes of your past.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
if you go in, like, you know, making men of the future pay for the mistakes of your past equals no future.
No, I
Because
just choose
no,
better
that's-
men.
The
no-
whole question was like how this started was why we feel like what's,
Why we need to make our own money?
What's the what do we expect out of like
Why do
making
we
more
want our
money than
independence?
men and stuff? And we were just saying
Very off
like,
topic. But
when we're single, that's we just want to.
Well, the common
Yeah,
sense
right.
reason. If you're gonna be single and live by yourself, you need some damn money.
Yeah,
That's very
yeah.
simple.
Mhm.
But somebody in the comments said, "Why does this man expect sex?" I think that was a very stupid question.
From my relationship, if
You're
my
not-
man,
you got
I
2
don't
hands.
give a
Get to
fuck.
work, buddy.
You're
If
not
my
living
man-
in my. I'm
Yo,
not paying
I want to
all
hear her
bills.
talk. All
wait,
she
what'd
does
you-
is
No,
ad
she.
lib.
So she.
Like-
From what I just heard you say, A man can buy your groceries, pay the rent, and pay everything, and
I'm not living with
he
a
isn't.
man.
No. Look, it's not your turn to talk. He's not obligated to have sex with you. You're gonna sleep in the same bed with him. He's gonna pay all the rent and buy you groceries, but you won't even have sex with him, or you don't feel like he has the right to have sex with you.
No, I just said like I would not live with a man.
But you said no. You
Before
don't. You don't have the right
marriage.
to have sex with me. That's what you said whenever I brought that
Yeah,
up a minute ago.
my personal values and my personal beliefs, I'm not having sex. My goal is to wait until marriage. Unfortunately, I did not wait. I lost my virginity when I was 24.
Okay, so that's all bullshit.
But
So one
But-
guy's
Why
gonna
are you
one guy's gonna
diminishing
wait
her
after another
experience?
guy never had to.
the right one will.
So you're gonna punish the right one.
It's not hey, you got two hands. Get to work, Austin.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. No,
I'm
no,
a
no.
self-starter, baby.
So I have to jack off because you lost your virginity.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I'm not gonna date you, so it's fine.
I don't want to date you. But look,
Yeah, it's fine.
the thing is,
I'm just sharing my personal values. You have your values with dating and sex, clearly. And so do you.
the man that
and I
the
have
right
mine.
one has a sex drive, but he has to wait because
I have a
you
sex drive
fucked up.
too, baby. Trust me.
So if
Trust
if
me.
So
you
what,
go in,
you gonna
I'm
go
not
fuck?
having
Are you gonna go
sex.
fuck the first guy again?
No, I'm not having sex. Period.
So what are you
like
gonna
I don't
do?
go out and
She's
meet a guy.
celibate.
And yeah, I choose celibacy right now until I meet my
So
husband.
he has to be celibate as well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Why not? There's
That's-
men
if
out
he
there
was-
that wait.
no,
for
You
you.
can laugh all you
no,
want.
no.
You're showing your true
The
colors,
man-
bud.
You goddamn right. I want to fuck.
Okay.
You goddamn right. I want to
And
fuck.
that's
No, but
you.
he
When I
you,
go to
and
Brazil,
that's
I want to
you.
fuck.
That's
Not
you.
a problem. No, that's a lot of men. Any
That's
man,
great.
any man in this
That's
goddamn room that says he doesn't want some pussy is a goddamn lie.
Okay, that's great. That
That
I know
is
I'm
a
in the
fucking
minority.
lie.
Unless they're gay.
I would love to finish a thought. Would love.
It wasn't your turn. You're very rude.
Okay, that
Men love
You're
to
having
fuck.
6-1 to no one, I guess. I would love. I've been listening for the longest
I'm
time.
rude as fuck.
I can
Seriously.
tell. I can tell.
Hey, get the fucking likes up with
no,
that.
Loki,
Yeah.
you've
Yeah, I
just
can
been
tell.
ad-libbing over every single thing that he says. You're like, use your hands, use your hands. No, yeah.
When did I say use your hands?
You said use 2 of them.
Oh yeah, you could. We got stuff to do. We can. I'm a self-starter. We're talking about hard work. Let's
Well,
see
so
it.
I'm
Come
just
on.
saying you're gonna punish you said the
It's
right
not-
man, the right
It-
man
I
has to
mean,
wait, but
for
the wrong
you,
one didn't.
For you
That's
in this
backwards.
in a secular world.
No, that's what you said.
But,
Let
but
me
if you were,
finish, bro.
But if you were truly
God
religious, like
dang.
you would have waited, and that's why it sounds like bullshit to men because they're like, okay, well, where was this religion back when you were fucking Tyrone?
Well, wait. So I have a question.
I love the
Or
maturity
Alex,
in this
or
podcast.
Alex.
It's so
So-
mature,
so
and
women-
respectful.
yeah.
Wow.
She's just mad because I made a point.
No,
No,
but hey,
no.
can I speak? If you're gonna tear me down, let me speak.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Thanks. I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to get emotional about it. It was a mistake with a man.
Did you feel pressured into it?
I did.
Of course.
Sorry, did not expect to get emotional, but I did feel coerced, which is a form of SH. Okay, I don't take that. I'm not a victim. I rise above it. I am who I am. It's a testimony. It's a story. For me, I know I'm in the minority as a woman who is choosing to refrain from sex. I have made mistakes. I'm not here to judge anybody at all. I disagree, clearly, but I'm not here to judge you. Like, I'm here to listen and learn new viewpoints from you guys and you
Right.
ladies, too.
Judge who?
No, I'm not saying
No,
I'm
no,
not
she
here
didn't
to
say that.
judge.
At
I
the same
just- I
time,
just-
though,
Did you have sex once or was it more than once?
I don't see how that's.
You don't have to.
But it's just like if it was
it
real
is
quick,
relevant. It
real-
is relevant.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well,
Did you fuck up one time or many times?
I don't like that word.
Okay, did you mess up one time or many times?
It was twice.
thing.
It was more than once
Okay.
with a man who, at the time, I did feel comfortable with.
You
But
trusted him.
So you got
he
coerced
knew-
twice.
Yeah,
on.
and it's- You
Hold
didn't know
on,
the
y'all.
situation. I could have had alcohol in my system. I could have.
that you chose to drink.
Yes.
But she can also
Yeah,
decide
but
to
so
change her mind.
someone has
you
alcohol
know?
in their system. You give them right to have their way with them. Isn't that
I mean,
our
you
word?
chose to drink and nobody forced you to drink it, did they?
What if
Oh,
what
so
if
now
I-
we're excusing our word. Oh my
What
god!
if-
Wow,
You chose
bro.
to drink it.
But if,
Yeah,
her,
but
if her
you
man
can't-
decides to stay and
Bro.
be cool with being celibate, is that really her punishing him though? Because I mean, you know,
A sucker.
I-
Yes, a sucker would do that.
I don't
yes.
think he's
Well, but
excusing.
this is it's just like an example. Like that's why women in the church are single, like single and child. I go into any church, it's like a bunch of single childless women that are celibate, and
Okay,
it's like
great.
and
and
so
so they want to find that one
They
man
want-
who'll be cool with, who'll
Yeah, I
be
know,
okay
and they
with it.
want
And
to.
there's men out
It's so-
there
it's
that
okay.
I feel like will be cool with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think that takes away from her deciding she wants to, choose celibacy and like,
It's-
go
I don't-
back
I-
to
I don't-
ABC.
I know it's okay to want what you want, but what can you get? And like, who's gonna like a 29 for a born again virgin? It's like, what's gonna?
She probably made that decision at
And-
another time.
Yeah, and I'm not a victim from it. I rise above it. I know I'm in the minority for my choices, whether it's a religious choice or not, and I'm fine with that. The worst thing in life is not being single.
I don't think you're the
I'd
minority.
rather be single and unhappy. I mean, well, not race wise. No, I mean like
No, I
with
wasn't talking about that. There's a lot of women playing that game.
No, I mean it.
That
And
born
there might-
again shit.
I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not speaking for other women. I'm not here to make generalizations, but for me, I am refraining from sex. And if I never find a man that does that, oh well. I'm not worried about it, to be honest. There's worse things in life than being lonely.
So if you went to the car dealership,
do you have,
Like what?
Do you have 2.5 million? Are you on track to have 2.5 million to retire by 65? Because
I love working though, so I would probably never retire.
yeah, but what if you get a cancer diagnosis?
Oh, okay.
But that's the thing. Like, but this
what
is,
if?
No, but the only point that I'm making is that if you don't get two incomes, if you do stay by yourself, a lot of women are going to be homeless.
Luckily I'm blessed, and I
yeah,
realize not everyone has this, but I do have a family
Mm-hmm.
who I'm close with. I'm close to my siblings, my mom and my dad.
So then you
And I
become
would be
everyone
able
else's
to-
problem.
I would not be a problem.
It's
I would
Elon Musk-
gladly take in my sister who
I have a
has
question.
cancer.
So
Gladly.
if you go to a car dealership, right, and they say,
Oh Lord, here
yeah,
we go.
somebody
test
has
drive it, baby.
somebody
I need
has-
to test drive it.
that's-
somebody
No.
has driven this car for 5,000 miles.
Okay.
But we're pricing it as if it's brand new.
Mm.
How would you feel about that? But this person,
Okay.
this person,
Are we talking about body count? Is that what we're
Well,
doing?
I got
No,
another
no, no.
example.
I'm talking about a
That's
car.
happening.
I'm talking about a car. If you have to pay full price for a car that's been driven, how would you feel about that?
It's already going to be depreciated because
Well,
it's left
I-
alone.
All
I
right, so
gotta-
that's how a man feels about a woman that is saying that she is a newly celibate when she's giving it away to somebody else, whether it's whatever you
A
want to
good
label
man
it.
is not going to judge her
Well,
for
no,
those kinds of
let me-
A
actions.
good man, women judge men off of their futures. Men judge women off of their past. So it has nothing to do with a good woman. That's why women lie about their past, because they know their past is a
Men lie
reflection
about
of
their
their
past
future.
too.
Men
Y'all
do,
judge us off our futures.
but you care
I'm done
about our
talking to you.
futures.
What?
You
You never
care
was.
about our
This is-
futures.
You never-
This is you guys keep
I'm having a
you keep-
conversation with this guy. What are you saying?
We care about your past is the point, right?
Okay.
So would you ever want to enter a relationship based off of a lie?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Right? So a lot of times women tend to lie about their past
Okay.
because they want to attain the guy that, they're interested in,
Uh-huh.
right? So all everybody else is saying here is her likelihood of finding a man that fits those qualities is extremely low. And if
Mhm.
it is somebody that fits those qualities, it's
Mhm.
not going to be somebody that she's interested in, because that's a minute
Mhm.
percentage. We go off of higher percentages, right? So we speak in generalities, right? But the general relates to like the majority percentage, right? So if we're talking like 90%, don't say
I
not
already
all.
lost you. I don't know where the math came
Probably
into
not random.
play.
I'm saying
I don't know
if
what's going
I'm saying
on.
if we say 90% of men aren't going to take that, right?
Uh-huh.
We're speaking in
Take what?
generality.
Take what?
A woman that claims she's celibate and got taken advantage of twice by the same person.
Men
But-
can't forgive the past, so that's what. Not saying,
Well,
like I just feel like I feel like look, not maybe 10% of men are actually Christian men who are or religious men.
bring down to
Say
one.
that 10% or maybe 2% are the religious men who will be okay.
Then her
with,
dating pool
you
is just
being 29.
2%.
Yeah,
Then her
that's-
dating
yeah,
pool is
then
smaller.
That's
no,
nobody's
I
business.
want to
But
give you an
that-
example. Sorry.
Lucky for you, I
So-
believe
sorry,
in
sorry.
miracles.
But
Well,
the issue is you
bullshit.
guys keep having
Let
like
me-
shaming language. Like you say, if he was a good man, he would be okay with it.
Mhm.
And like that's
But
that's
he's
implying.
also using
That's,
shaming
imply-
language
that's
too.
implying that's implying that all the men that wouldn't put up with that are bad men, and they're actually good guys and good husbands. They just wouldn't put up with that shit because
Okay.
it doesn't seem genuine to them.
Well, let me.
Well, it
let
is
me-
genuine
I'm
for
gonna give
me.
you an example of what you're saying you're doing, and it's similar to the car thing, but he stole it from me.
So excited.
So whenever I get a brand new car on a loan, right? How soon do I get that car?
You tell me. I'm just listening.
I'm asking you a question. You ever got a car?
This is
Yeah.
rhetorical. Keep going. What's your point?
I'm not talking to you like you told
He
me.
likes asking questions to put
You-
the other person in a
Then
weaker
answer the
spot.
question.
Can you
Answer
I
the
ask him what
honestly
the point
don't
is?
know.
Do you get a car? You
Yeah,
don't
I
know
have-
when you get a car when you sign the paperwork.
I've gotten a car before, but the
How
paperwork's
soon
pretty
did you
quick,
get it?
I guess.
right away. It's
I don't
right
know,
away.
42
the-
hours.
within
You
the
want a
next
number,
right,
bro?
right away,
Like,
right
just
away.
objection,
That's how,
Say what you
relevant.
need to say,
that's
dude.
how I know you're gonna be single because you call me a bro.
Okay.
I'm not your fucking bro.
Oh God.
You are.
Now, second,
You're my friend.
what you want is you want to bring that car back and sell it as a used car. You want that same dealership to resell it and make the second motherfucker that signs on the loan to wait 3 years to get the car.
Why are we comparing women to cars?
I'm over it.
Isn't
I
this an
don't
old
even
analogy? Haven't we overused
Do
this?
you
We
know-
can use a house.
Do you understand the difference between?
I don't like
comparison
comparing women to
and a-
objects or men to objects.
There's a difference between
Bullshit.
a comparison
You'll compare
and
a
an
man to
analogy.
object.
When you put
How?
when you put two things side by side, right? And an analogy is not a comparison. A comparison
great.
means that you're comparing one thing
Okay,
to
so
another.
thank you. So you're comparing a woman to an object.
He just said analogy.
Isn't
It's
this
an,
like
an analogy
You
is
just
not a
said analogy.
comparison.
Okay, if you
A
want to get into
comparison
semantics, that's
means-
fine, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know
No.
what I mean? I understood what you kind of where you were going with that. It's a old
I know you were pretending you
old-
didn't understand. I know that. I debate a lot.
Yeah, I
Hey,
just
get the likes
if
up,
you
guys. This is
say
fire.
what you need to say. I've heard it all before, to be honest. And hey, going back to my personal story, because everyone's telling me how I feel and my unlikelihood, that's fine. I know who I am as a person. I know who I am as a
I'm
woman,
glad you did it.
and I just don't want to participate in that. I've made mistakes in the past. Again, like I said, not here to judge anyone or shame anyone. But I do believe your value does not come from body count or lack of body count.
Preach.
I got to
Your
So-
value for me comes from a higher purpose.
Ma'am, and I'm not trying to sound too sexual, but body count does matter because if the walls
To
separate,
you.
the value does go down.
It
because
matters
doesn't
to you
feel
as
good.
well.
Yeah,
you only
so-
have one body for a reason, and that's why you're refraining from sex.
But
So
you're
it does
judging-
matter.
You're
So it
judging-
matters, yes or no?
You're judging a woman by the amount of penises that enter her vagina.
Correct.
Well,
Oh,
what
boy.
about us judging you the amount of times that you
Y'all
mount
don't
a
judge
woman?
us. Y'all don't
Y'all
judge us
don't.
like that.
I don't.
You
And I-
don't.
Why does everybody want to fuck Chris Brown? We know he's fucked a lot of
Right.
You know,
I
Well,
don't
he probably
know.
has an
Okay.
STD or
Not my
many.
type.
No,
too
we're not
skinny.
going off probablys.
I mean,
do
some
a
women-
lot of women want to fuck Chris Brown?
Do really?
I don't know.
They do?
You
He's
know,
really
okay.
skinny.
I don't know.
You might not want to, but I bet you he's not lacking no pussy.
I feel
Well,
like
hey,
also
My
He's
I
my
don't think
friend.
I don't
life
think they're
is-
judging him off of how many women he's
Also,
I feel
if
like
you're a
men have
virgin,
that
if you're a
right.
virgin on your wedding day, you have an 80%
Let's
chance
let-
of a happy
come
marriage.
back to reality.
If you are a virgin on your wedding day, you have an 80% chance of a happy marriage. If you slept with more than 5 people, it
It's
drops
just
to
a debate.
25%. So men are
think I'm
gonna
gonna beat
care.
you up
I
after
mean,
this.
men.
Your
I don't
career's
know
over
where
with.
this
I feel like
is
it's.
going.
I feel
Lucky
like
for
it
you, I'm
just all
unemployed.
comes down to
What?
what our personal
unemployed.
standards are. You
Yeah.
know, and I can't tell a man what his standards are for if he wants a woman with. Look, like they said, I don't really care about a man's body count. I mean, at the end of the day,
Is he
like
gone?
if we're getting married, it's in the
Did he,
past.
leave me?
Let's let bygones be bygones. But I can't be mad at a man
I'm so
for
sorry.
not wanting a woman with the body count over 10
Yeah.
or 5 or.
I think for us, like definitely one body is good. Like men like that, right? But the point is that you're saying that you gave it up to one person, but this person might have to wait X amount of
Can
time.
you explain why? Why
Okay.
is it that men are judging a woman based on how many penises enter her vagina? Please tell me
It's
that.
unattractive.
Why?
What it just is. Like
What do you think it just stretches out and it's never gonna
no,
shrink back?
No,
I feel like
I,
women-
I'm educated. Like I know that a woman's vagina can contract.
Okay,
in-
then
in-
then
I
with
can-
your educated experience, why are you not attracted to a woman that has, I don't know, 30 body count?
I feel like
Wouldn't
I-
you like her experience?
I-
Wouldn't you like the experience and the skills that she's bringing to the bed?
I would like the experience for me to be the next number, but
Mhm.
commitment, no, because why would 30 other people? Let's
Mhm.
say the body count is 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
30 is decently high, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why, as number 31, would
Mhm.
I fully commit to something that probably 26 of those 30 bodies didn't have to commit to?
Because the brain is up here and it's not down
No,
here.
but I think at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to men feel like women have to do more to have sex. Like we have to I feel like in their brains, we have to open our legs and
Is that how you feel?
The point is, we like exclusivity. Why would we want somebody that everybody else has had, right? And
But
I
you
feel like
get
we're
to have that?
emotionally attached.
But
too.
you get to have that. You get to have the liberty of having all the women that you
But
want, but then you can't have the woman.
Who
This
wants a guy that you have to teach in bed? Like, come on.
I
We
do.
don't- we
I'm
don't- we
actually
don't
a
like a good
cougar.
learning
I'm
experience.
actually a
don't want-
cougar.
Okay, this is cap. This is cap.
No,
so
But and,
ask
and
all
the
my
second-
friends.
and the
I'm actually a
second-
cougar, so I
okay,
actually like
okay.
teaching boys
And-
what to do because
and-
I want them to learn what I like.
Let me finish. And the second reason why is because men historically had to ensure paternity, so they didn't like a girl that slept around because they
Mhm.
didn't know if they're passing on resources
That's
to
great,
a kid
yeah.
that's theirs.
Mhm.
And you still see this issue today that men are raising kids that aren't aren't theirs.
Mhm.
Like there is a DNA
And that's very
testing.
noble.
There is a DNA testing center.
not.
No, it's noble if they know, but a lot of men don't know. Where they said
Okay.
1 out of 4 came
Okay.
back negative, and so they don't want a hoe because she's less likely to be loyal.
What now?
A hoe.
A hoe.
Oh Lord.
And
now we're
like,
calling
like she was
women
saying,
hoes.
there is statistics
right.
that like show that if the more body count you have,
Yeah.
you can see that the divorce rate is higher based off what number she's at. So there's statistics to kind of back it up.
And
Or-
moving in with a man or a woman before you get married, the odds of you getting married to that person, it goes down dramatically.
Yeah, I just learned that one recently, actually. Yeah.
So that's why, again, I do not live with a man. You know, I don't plan on doing that.
My
and
opinion on that, on the whole divorce rate with 5 or more, I listen. This is what I believe. I believe that maybe, because in my case, I have had multiple partners, but I know what I'm looking for, and in a man that I want to marry, because I do want marriage. So if I know what I'm looking for and I like what's up here, it doesn't like I might actually, I think maybe I'll stay. Again, this is all hypothetical. I don't know. I have a strong feeling that I would stay with this man for life because I know what I'm looking for. I know what I've already experienced, and I have no desire to go finding something else unless we agree on polyamory. Then what?
I'm too selfish for that. But I mean, in regards to like sexual encounters too, like you kind of brought up like, yo, no one wants a virgin in bed. I think that's a great learning experience, like a great time, honestly, to
MJ, I
explore with your
disagree.
partner. And you know, after you get married, if you're like, oh man, she's a virgin, she doesn't have any experience, good. I am excited because you have the whole marriage to explore those sexual
I was talking about as a
things.
woman. Men want virgins. Women don't.
Okay,
By,
well-
Can I
by
address-
and large, women don't want
I
virgins.
want to address a comment. It says
I don't mind
MJ
it personally.
MJ
For-
says a woman that has multiple sex partners is looking for the next sex partner and not a husband. I would like to address that. I'm actually looking for a husband,
Same.
and
What's
I
your
have
body
had
count? You have a
multiple.
lot of
What's your body count?
You have multiple right now?
What do you mean?
Sex partners.
What's your
Right
body
now?
count?
I don't know if I want to say that because
You-
I don't want to
Why?
be judged.
No.
What's
Because
your
I don't
body
wanna be
count?
judged,
You
yeah.
have you don't want to hear mine. You have multiple sex
do.
partners right now.
Yes,
Right now.
correct.
So, okay.
And
I
you
wish
want a
I
husband.
was you because I can't say that. I gotta wait till I get back to Brazil.
So imagine
What are you
this.
talking about?
Jeez.
I don't even
So-
understand what you're saying.
Well,
Why
you
can't
no,
you?
I said you have multiple sex partners right now, meaning like you're with three.
Yes, I'm dating. I'm going around and seeing who I match with because I'm looking for a partner for life.
So multiple is at least 4, right?
No, 2.
That's not multiple. That's
She's
that's,
spinning
that's a
plates
pair.
harder than some guys.
That's a pair.
Why did okay?
Yeah, okay.
Continue.
So to me, multiple means
couple.
more than one.
I would have said
So-
multiple means more. I agree with you. I would say
Okay, so
multiple
the
is more than
question.
one.
So the
A
question.
couple
Can
is
you go
2.
back to the question? Can you go back to? Can someone expand?
Can
the
I ask
question?
you real quick?
All right, hold on 1 second. So it says a woman that has multiple sex partners is looking for the next sex partner, not a husband. I want to address that because, as she said, we both agree we are looking for our husband. Now she's currently not in sexual relations. I am, and so I want to address that and say yes. I am looking for a husband. I'm not looking for my next sex partner.
How
How
can
about
you be
that?
looking for a husband while having sex with 2 dudes at the same time?
Well, I'll tell you one thing: the better you
I
get
would
at
love
that
to
sex,
ask
the
you the
quicker
same
you're gonna
thing.
find a
Mhm.
husband.
Hmm?
The better you get at that sex, the quicker you'll find a husband.
Do you
Yeah,
think
Serious-
that my worth
no,
is
ser-
based
ser-
on my
Well, I
sexual
mean, if you knock somebody's
capacities?
socks off, they're gonna like it a lot, and they're not gonna be able to leave you alone. So I think you should keep practicing.
What's your? Hey, let's talk body count. What's y'all's body count?
She still hasn't answered to ours because she literally just said she didn't want
Okay,
to be
she said
ridiculed.
2.
I
No,
just don't
she
want to
said
be
she's
judged.
hooking up with 2 right
I'm-
now.
Okay, what's your body count? Let's get to the T.
What's your body count?
I don't even want to tell y'all.
Over or under 30?
I'm just kidding.
Not sure, so over.
Okay, what's yours? I'm curious.
Oh, why do you wanna
Silence.
share?
Interesting.
Mm.
Probably around like 3.
3?
Probably around 3.
You mean
so that's
3-0?
not confirmed.
3-0? 3
Like
30?
around
Are you
3?
calling me cute?
What does that
You
mean?
think I have a lot?
So if you think if that's cute, then her having 30 should be cute to a man.
Yeah.
Like looping back to what
Yeah,
y'all
men
said
and women
about
aren't the
value.
same.
No, the walls.
Men
get
and women
looser.
aren't the same.
Lord.
No, you guys.
The
Men and
walls
women aren't
get
the same.
looser.
Like he mentioned before, the difference is many women would be on the boat with Chris Brown, you know, and have his babies by any means. If I'm on the boat with a porn star, I'm getting her out the way and then I'm leaving. I'm not
Where'd you be on
going
a
to
boat?
wife
Where
her.
y'all going on the boat?
It's irrelevant.
All
What
right.
is your cash app?
I want to know. I want to
No,
know
seriously, what's-
commitment.
What's your cash app?
Can we talk about Okay,
So
this
double
is
standard.
a
drop,
genuine
drop
question.
your cash app. You got 150.
So double
I
standard.
have a genuine question
Cool.
about the red
I
pill
don't need
movement.
y'all's
This
money,
is
man.
coming
This is a
from a
fire
place
show.
of-
Y'all just sub for me. Seriously, I don't want nobody's money. I'm just trying to bring content
This
to the
is-
world.
Not me, just pearly thing.
I know.
People like to donate.
I'll give you my
I don't
Venmo.
want y'all's, I don't
All
want
right.
y'all's money, man. Just
I
support me more.
I
Share.
have a genuine question based on ignorance because I don't know about the red pill movement that much. Okay, so this is coming from. I want to learn more about what this movement is about. Okay, what is your stance on commitment on a man's perspective? Because I feel as if, again, this is me just from the very little that I have seen, I have noticed that in the red pill movement, men do not seem want to commit to women. Again, now this is the one video that I saw. It was one of your guests. I don't remember his
I would
name.
agree.
Okay. One of the videos that I saw was this dude saying that a woman's does not have high value. A woman does not have high value. And a woman's prime is only between 18 to 25. And it's okay to recycle women as you get older. And so a woman, again, this is the video that I saw. The woman's worth only comes from being deemed a queen by a king, and she only gets her worth based off the last name that they get.
Shout
So
out to
again,
Good.
in my opinion, it seems as if this man is telling men to not commit. There's no reason to commit to men if they're just going to be jumping from young woman to young woman. So again, I want to know. I want to open up the floor. Can you explain to me if the red pill movement is encouraging or discouraging commitment?
It's discouraging,
Mm.
but I think purple pill is encouraging. You need to get
That's
you a
why I'm
blue-
here.
You need to get you a blue pill or a purple pill guy. Don't get a red pill guy.
I think that it's kind of both, right? So red pill is like knowing your reality, right? So like obviously we're aspiring to be multimillionaires, right? A lot of men are comfortable within their realities, right? So they're doing their 9 to 5, they come home, they satisfy their wife, right? So if that's your reality, right? Don't allow your wife to take advantage of you, right? For us, we're going to continue to do our thing, right? So we're committed to the woman that we're with, right?
Mhm.
But also as we build ourselves, obviously we're not going to, remain stagnant.
Mhm.
If that answers your question.
So
Yeah,
I feel like okay, go ahead.
To answer your question, I would say that the red pill discourages men from getting married because men get a bad deal today.
I was just
They get
about to say that.
they get a contract that women are paid to leave,
Mm.
and they're men value purity and youth.
Mm.
And the average age of first marriage in the US is like 28, 29.
Mhm.
That's not young anymore.
Mhm.
And that's not pure. How many bodies you got by 28, 29?
Mhm.
And so it's like they're
On average, ma'am.
accumulating all of the risk, and what
Mhm.
do they get out of it? They don't get a virgin bride anymore. So it's like
They
they're
barely-
they're looking at the costs and the benefits, and they're just saying, you know what, we're not really getting the things that we want anymore, so fuck it.
And I'm
Okay.
sorry,
Well,
all the
earlier they said you want to date
housewives.
children.
Uh-huh.
They said purity and youth. Y'all want to date children.
I mean, all the
guess.
all the wives in my life, their husbands don't even come home to all the housewives. I feel like husbands don't even come home to a warm cooked meal. Like
In
they're
Brazil, they
they're
do.
eating leftovers
Oh
from the
my
night
gosh.
before. But like like you said, I feel
Mhm.
like men are realizing that they're getting like the shit end of the stick, and it's just kind of like they kind of. It's not that they never knew their worth, but I feel like men are actually stepping into like a phase where they're like, I know what I bring to the table, and it's like, you know, maybe she's not bringing. Why'd you do that?
No,
He was
talking to her.
threatening me
'Cause her
again.
career-
So-
no,
so
no,
you
her
know-
career's over with. Go ahead.
You know,
I'm sadly unemployed. I lost my job, so
Well,
Don't
the
worry about
dating
it.
career is over with.
how? Why?
'Cause I'm
in
here.
your
I'm
opinion.
here.
in
Oh,
your
you're
opinion.
interesting.
You know this
for
is
sure.
a fact that I ended her career tonight, right?
No.
No,
How old are
whatever
you,
floats
ladies?
your boat. I
I'm
mean,
34.
whatever.
My blow,
34,
will never
29.
sink.
29.
And how old are you?
26. I
Right.
just turned 26.
So can we all agree that, as a woman, your fertility rate, lowers as you get older, right?
Oh my God, does it?
Mhm.
I
Right?
didn't know
So the older you get, the less likely you are to obtain a man, most likely because a man is looking for a woman that can give him kids, right? That makes sense, right?
Depends
So that's
on what they are looking for. There's other guys out there that don't want kids. Or don't
so
want to
that's
have
that's
kids.
what I meant. That's what I meant when I was doing the percentages before, and you said, "Where is this going?" Right? We can't go off of the minority, right? As a majority, most men look at the woman oh, me and this woman compatible. What's our kid gonna look like? Where are we gonna go going forward, right? So moving forward from that, right? That's what that clip meant, right? 18 to 26 or whatever that age range means. They're not saying women after 26 are worthless. What they're saying is 18 to 26 is that optimal range. You find a woman that has less bodies, is still fertile, and you can build a life at a young age rather than trying to, have a woman like yourself. No, not to come at you or anything. You already have your core values. You've been through your men. You don't want to tell us your body count
So
because
you're saying that you want to groom women?
Here
You
we
want
go.
to groom them
the
at a
difference
young age
the
and
definition of
impregnate them and not commit to them?
the
Is that what you're
definition
saying?
the definition of grooming is somebody that's under 18 that you're trying to,
You can groom someone over
you
18.
cannot groom an adult.
Yes, you can.
How do you groom an adult?
They
I
chose.
thought-
They chose.
Gaslighting?
Manipulation,
Gaslighting?
That's their decision. Though.
Excuses.
No.
Excuses.
They're not a
No.
No,
minor.
it's just fact.
They're not. They're not a
No,
minor
I think that's
anymore.
an
women-
easy way
women
to get
always-
out of
no, it's
something
like-
by saying
So you can't manipulate
excuses.
someone at this table right
Women-
now. I can manipulate someone.
Women
So can
always
you.
want to be
You cannot
victims.
manipulate
It's like
me.
you're
No.
not a victim.
I would love to try.
You're not a
And
victim.
you would have a very hard time.
Even in this
Well, hey, I like a
conversation,
challenge.
you wanted to be a victim
what-
with a guy
no,
you
you
slept with
wouldn't like
twice.
Okay. Whatever,
That's her
whatever makes you
personal
happy.
experience. That's her
Whatever you
per-
need to say, get it out.
So
fine.
I don't have to say.
so I'm a
much.
groomer if I go after an adult that is younger than me. That's
You
what
can
just said?
groom. Yes, you can.
How?
That okay. Marilyn, have you seen the documentary with Marilyn Manson and I can't remember
I
Rachel
haven't, I
Evan Wood?
I have not.
She was groomed by Marilyn Manson. She was old enough to know what was happening, but she fell into the mystery and the allure, the allure of him.
Is that the one in California? They like murdered the family. Is that
No,
what?
there's no
okay.
murders in this.
Oh, that was Manson. No, she's
No,
talking about the guy that was
Marilyn-
a super
Charles
gothic
Manson.
Yes,
guy.
the guy,
Super
the guy
gothic.
that
I don't know.
supposedly
Why
like
is-
sucked his dick with his
Oh,
mouth or whatever.
So why
That
is
dude.
it right? Why is it that in
With his own
2022
mouth?
women are
Mhm.
allowed to?
He took ribs out of himself so that he could do that.
This is weird.
This was like
I
in
have
the
a lot of
90s.
questions.
So why is it in 2022 that we allow grown women, to say that they've been manipulated and all of this? I saw this earlier when he made a comment and you're like, "Oh, so we're allowed to do this, right?" To you, right? You're like, "Oh, we're saying that this is okay, the R word, right?"
Oh,
You're like, "How do you know we drank, right?" Imagine if imagine if I have a girlfriend and I'm just like, "Oh, I got drunk, I hooked up with her. I got R'd," right? We don't allow men to do that in this culture. Women are the only people that are allowed to go and do ignorant things or act a certain way as an adult and then say, "Oh, I was coerced. Oh, I was under the influence. Oh, this, oh, that." We don't allow grown men to do that.
I agree with you.
And you ought to be
And I'm
ashamed of
shocked.
yourselves.
No, but I agree. I think women, in a lot of ways, it's like okay to mention, "Hey, I've been, hurt inappropriately." But then for a man to come out and say, "I've been R'd," everyone's like, "Oh, no!" Like men have mental health issues as well.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of unhealed
Trauma.
trauma
I
from
know.
childhood,
Yeah.
from lack of a mom there, lack of a dad, and so I do consider myself a feminist, but I also do.
I know.
Men need support. Men need mental health support. And there's
I
nothing
agree,
wrong with being a feminist.
100%.
All men are not
Men need to go to
misogynistic.
therapy.
Some at this
So
table
much
might
therapy.
be, but men need that support. Men need that. Hey, it's okay that
Men
you
are
struggle
told
with anxiety.
men are told to bottle up their feelings.
No,
Men
they're
are told
not.
most men
You can go cry in the closet, just don't cry in public. That's what
right.
they tell
Don't
me.
cry
And
in
that-
front
That's
of
and
your
not
that-
dad.
bottling up. I let it out, just not in front of you.
It's not okay, but
You're
it
still
is bottling.
bottling it.
Why then why is it that men feel so scared to go to therapy? Because they don't want to be vulnerable. They've been told to not be vulnerable in public.
That's not in public. That's a one-on-one session.
Okay, but unfortunately there are men out there that have been told that just seeking help is a sign of weakness.
I see. I asked a guy
I-
that's actually gone to therapy. I want to note on this. A lot of guys don't go to therapy because we avoid anything that has to do with doctor. If I fell and broke my wrist, I'm such a little shit that I would put it off for a week before I go to the hospital
No,
and
I'm
have to
going
deal
to
with
the
it.
hospital.
And that's just for some reason men are like that. For some reason we just want to put it off as long as we can or avoid the
Just to
doctor as
show
much as we
strength
can.
that I
But
can take care of
But
myself.
it's just a man thing, but it also goes into mental health, yeah, too. But
Mhm.
it's more about, man, we're just focused on our shit sometimes. Like sometimes I'm really focused on other shit, and I don't care about this little injury or this little bullshit thing or whatever it is. We, especially when you have to be a provider and you have a lot of responsibilities on your shit, you can't be crying over a scraped knee. You know what I'm saying? So
And
that's why a lot of guys don't do it.
To piggyback off of that, I think that men should feel empowered and confident enough to be able to seek help, no matter if it's the knee or if it's the mind.
Mhm.
You'd be surprised though how often, because our problems aren't that bad. You can literally talk to another guy usually, or a family member or something, to solve whatever that issue is that's making you sad. And that's the problem. That's why I think a lot of guys also avoid therapy, is because usually it's just a financial issue. It's just something stupid that's getting you down in the moment. But
But
we're
doesn't one
supposed to
small
No,
thing
but
keep
you have
it
YouTube.
accumulating?
but we're supposed to come up with solutions. As men, that is our
Right.
job, to always come to a solution.
Exactly.
And so sometimes you don't need to go pay money to somebody that's gonna, he wants you to stay bad, because he's gonna keep making more money every time you come back to the doctor's office.
Not a good one.
Like you're right, not a good one, but a lot of them, aren't
Yeah,
good.
every-
As somebody
I
that's gone
swear to
to, they're
God,
not all good.
Every therapist, like person that I know that's becoming a therapist, is batshit crazy, and I'm like, I cannot believe they're gonna be a
Same.
therapist
I
someday.
f- and
I know, yeah, everyone's
breaks my
nodding,
heart.
everyone's nodding, and I've had so many people go to therapy and they come back crazier. I'm not saying it doesn't work; it does
They literally
for
go by a book. That's
for
what's
some
crazy.
people,
Wow.
but what?
That
I
breaks
love
my
my
heart.
therapist.
That's it, literally,
Yeah,
because
I have an
they,
excellent
they're
therapist.
I love you,
diagnosing from a
Christina.
general
You'll
book.
never see this,
You know,
but I
it's
love
like a
you.
generalized.
Could you guys let her talk? Could you go again?
I'm saying it's mainly because like therapists, they can't give you any like personal advice that, like he said, your
Mhm.
friends can actually, they know your situation, they can actually give you like in-depth advice, whereas like your therapist is going by like their DSM-9
No, that's
or
what, and a
whatever.
lot of times I feel like if you go to your friends, they actually know the context and kind of how
Right.
you are in a
Mhm.
group, but like the
Mhm.
therapist kind of, it's
They're like, oh, did you do your exercises today? And I'm like,
Or
I
they'll
kind of need
make-
your advice.
or like, okay, I'll
You
give you
know?
an example. Like I have a friend, and the reason people react to her a certain way is because she's a bitch, and
Mhm.
and so she'd go to the therapist and she'll tell a story and make herself out to be the victim. But I'm like, no, you were rude to everybody in the room. That's why they don't like you.
Right. So you're going and getting false advice
Yeah,
because you're saying a false
yeah,
story.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here, all right, hey, everybody, get the likes up, please. I'm gonna get to a part where I like to get this gets a little juicy whenever we get into these questions. So these last questions, it's y'all are gonna kind of be judging each other here. We're gonna start. Oh, what's gonna be better here? If you say something, and they might want. Yeah, let's
Let's
start
go
over
first.
here. I want to see what they say back to you. Okay, so you already know this game. I want you to make one critique about the people on the other side of the panel, the women on the other side. Just give them one relationship critique. If you could give them, some type of advice to make them better.
First of all, I would never take advice from you. Sorry. Not sorry.
You wouldn't take anything from anybody.
No, I take great advice from my therapist.
Period.
You're indoctrinated. You
It can help.
Yes.
Yeah,
I had a
everybody
feeling.
let him say
No.
his things and nobody interrupt him, because I just want to hear it. I just want to hear what he says and see y'all's faces.
yeah, 'cause you.
Finger
That
pointing.
make
I'm
it-
so scared.
I got a point, so she knows. what
I'm
I'm
not
talking
You
to.
can just do this.
Oh, a feminist, yeah. Okay, so the
Katie?
whole waiting and celibacy bullshit, that's not gonna work.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay. Thank you for sharing
I
your
just want
opinion.
that's a blunt answer, but it means a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't have
Appreciate it.
anything to say about you. You've been playing a mutual ground. I think that's fine.
I feel like there needs to be one person, like, I feel like there needed to be one person that's not like,
Oh, so you were faking it.
no, not at all. But I'm just not, there wasn't really any topics to be like,
You just want to have sex with
Go
me,
ham
don't
on.
you?
No, I don't.
I think you do.
No, I don't.
sex with
Oh,
who?
man.
No.
He just keeps eyeing me.
I've been eyeing everybody. I looked at you.
You went like this to me.
Yeah, I did.
You did
that
this face too?
because from the minute I saw you, I knew that your career was over with. Seriously.
I don't. Okay.
Um,
can't
I
wait.
just said I lost my job. But it's fine.
All right,
I'll come back on and
I
I'll
just
ruin you.
eyed
I don't
her.
care.
I eyed him. I mean,
Whatever makes you happy.
All right, go ahead.
winning
Last
this
story.
debate made me very happy today. You were too combative.
I'm an Aries.
Well,
Here,
no,
talk
no,
closer.
we're,
She's a
we're not gonna
strong
do that
woman.
zodiac bullshit.
She's a strong woman.
You don't.
That
I do.
zodiac, I don't pull out the Taurus shit. I'm a Taurus.
But
that
we're
ain't
not
got
talking-
nothing to do with
Okay,
this.
I don't have a problem with it.
She brought up the zodiac. We are
Mhm.
talking about that. You need to get her, not me.
I like getting
You're
you
too
though because you're
combative.
annoying.
Here we go.
Mhm.
You were too combative.
Well, first of all, I'm
And
Latina.
you need to wait your turn. Not really.
I am.
You're not really Latina. No, I've been to Latin
¿Puedes
America.
hablar español?
No.
Ah, bueno,
Yeah,
entonces.
if
Mentiroso.
if
Háblame a mí cuando tú vayas a vivir en Venezuela por 11 años y tienes que vivir por Chávez, tienes que vivir por Maduro, ¿ok? Yo soy latina. Ay, yo puedo agarrar mi chancleta y te la puedo tirar.
Period.
Estou americano. Eu venho ao Brasil todos 3
Fala
vezes
português?
isso ano. Sim, fala português
Tudo bem?
também. Não espanhol.
Ok.
Está na real. Entende isso?
Sí, un poco.
Não, pouco. Sim, entende nada.
Sí, entiendo.
Yeah, sim.
Portuguese is very similar.
Está
I'm
não
half Portuguese.
importante.
Okay. I love that we're making this into an international discussion. I love
International
this.
show, guys. I hope we got. Hey, everybody, get the
Leo.
likes up, please.
Hey,
All right, bro.
Portugal.
All right.
Don, I gotta
Yes.
hear you go in, bro. Like what one critique you got for each one of these ladies?
Okay, for you, just more submissive.
Man,
you're
that
you're
sucks.
you're very vocal, which is there's no problem, but it's definitely gonna hinder you in the dating field, right? Because a lot of men like a woman that they can, be the more dominant figure in their life for. You
That's not what I'm looking for.
in the middle,
Exactly.
Katie.
Katie. I'm sorry,
Yes.
I didn't know your
It's
name.
okay. My name's Katie.
I think you just need to be more realistic. There's no problem. I respect that you have God in your life and all things like that, but you just gotta come to terms with like reality is the fact that if somebody like I feel like you're argumentative, right? Because you don't look at things for what they are, you look at things for what you want them to be, right? So like earlier, whenever we mentioned you mentioned the weight, right? And you're like, that's misogynist, right? But then you change it to that's fat phobia, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like you just want to like cause an argument and you just want to disagree. Sometimes you just need to be more open-minded and listen to people, right? Because you made some good points. Sometimes you stated something and you had the statistics behind it. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I never knew anything about that. He even agreed. He's like, I just found out about that. I forget exactly what it was, but you're like, I just
the
if you get
living
married,
together.
I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
living
exactly.
together
I
before
didn't know
marriage,
anything about that, right? And I just sat here. I'm like shaking my head, like, oh, that's something new I learned. Sometimes you just need to do that without like ad-libbing and things like that because that's
Okay.
kind of like unattractive. You
Don't care.
like that ad-libbing.
Exactly.
You didn't do
Wait your
anything
turn.
particular that I didn't pay it. You didn't interject or anything like that. You like particularly if I were just you,
Nah.
I would just be like, yeah, continue dating, do what you want, just be realistic. Yeah, you've been realistic, so I don't have anything major for you.
Cool.
What about you, Pearl?
Okay. What was the original
Uh,
question again?
one
I'm sorry.
like just one critique for them to help them get into a relationship because this is a dating show, you know.
One critique to help them get into a relationship. You're very pleasant. You're actually very easy to talk to too. I think guys probably like that.
Yeah. I don't know. But thank you. I appreciate that. You're pleasant as well.
I would say for you, do you approach guys that you
Yeah.
like? Yeah? Okay, then I have nothing. I was like,
Yes, I do.
I was-
the man I'm literally look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'll shoot my shot. if
you'll
he's-
shoot
yeah.
shoot your shot.
we go.
I'm a big believer in like women should shoot their shots, like because I feel like a lot of times we'll complain about not getting something, but if you go
Yeah.
after it, okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, my girl gave me her number. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Wow.
No,
Gotta
my-
go after
my-
what you like.
yeah.
There you go.
You're a bit rude, so I'd say be less rude.
I'll try my hardest.
I,
I,
would,
can't make
like
promises.
I think you kind of like to argue, and I feel like men.
Well, this is a
Yeah. I
good
guess.
debate.
Um,
It is.
you're pretty pleasant, but I think you also like to argue.
Mm.
I think you probably shouldn't tell men that you have multiple partners. I wouldn't say that publicly.
Well, unless you just want to stay that way.
That's her.
Yeah,
That's
I
her.
just think
That's
like
Pearl.
that's gonna like a lot of guys that might take you serious, I think probably wouldn't if you tell them that. Oh yeah, born again virgin. I wouldn't do that. I don't even think you'd like the guys that are willing to do that, because I've seen
Making a
that.
lot of assumptions.
No, it's just like I've been in a lot of different churches, and I've just seen the way like church culture operates, and I just feel like it keeps women single.
Okay. Thank you for
So.
sharing your opinion.
Yeah.
Why do
That's
you-
good. Well,
Don't be so rude.
now the
Jesus
girls get to go
Christ.
though. Like now y'all get to say y'all's critiques because I mean all these people are single too, so you get to help them get into a relationship. Maybe if you got some good advice. We're gonna start with you this time, okay?
Okay. I forget that everyone in this room is single. I will start with Pearl. one great thing I think about you is that you have a lot of. It seems as if you have a lot of world experience.
Mhm.
So I admire that about you. You know, and I feel like it's the point of this is to give a critique about someone.
Yes.
I feel
You
bad
can.
giving.
I can take it. I can take it.
No, and that's not the issue because I know you can. You are a very strong woman, and I do appreciate that about you. That's I admire that about you, honestly. And you don't take no shit. That's very admirable. But I feel bad giving critiques about someone that I don't know. I don't know you guys. I'm only going
Don't
off.
be
of,
nice
It's
now.
okay. It's okay.
It's just based
Look
off
it,
what
look
we've
it,
learned about
look
each
it,
other
look it.
here.
I'll
That's all
take
it's
it with
about.
a
Don't be
grain of
nice
salt.
now.
It's
Yeah.
okay. You can.
Dating. Wait, do you like men or women?
Here we go.
I like men.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Maybe one of you guys are
No.
good. I don't know.
No,
Don't point at me now. Don't point at me.
I'm saying
I
in
know.
general.
I
Nothing wrong
get
with
that
it.
sometimes. I don't know why. I like men only.
Okay, that's cool.
Only men.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You like older men?
Yeah. I mean, not. I mean, I'm 25, so like up to 45 maybe.
It's a good range.
45.
And then
No, I'm just
okay,
kidding.
I have a more of a question then
It's okay.
because again with this from what I understand from the one video that I saw, you know, you're entering now into that age where you're going to be not fertile. You're not going to be desirable. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I mean, it definitely like how do I put it? It makes you like think about things a little bit more seriously.
Are you in
Yeah.
a rush to find a man to like are you trying to commit?
Yeah, I want to get married.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'd like to get married in the next couple years. Yes.
Mhm. And so what will happen? So are you trying to marry someone within the red pill movement?
No, I don't really. I mean, if he's not red pill, I'll red pill him.
So what does that mean exactly then?
Like,
Pull him over to her side.
yeah.
So
yeah,
then
yeah.
you're okay
Teach
with
him.
him leaving you because you're not young anymore?
That's not what the red pill teaches.
What does it teach?
It's basically like, guys, your experiences to men are valuable to them if you experience them with them.
Mm-hmm.
So like if a guy kind of explained this to me, like if he meets his wife at 21, like in his eyes she'll forever be 21.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's like some guys will be like, oh, that's bullshit, but like
Mm-hmm.
I think like men build, like they love through loyalty, and the
Mhm.
longer you've been
Yep.
with someone, he appreciates the loyalty, but it's not valuable to someone else.
Mhm.
So if I'm 25 now, if I come at 35, then it's like it's not valuable to the next guy. Does that make sense?
My concern is people are change over time.
Mhm.
I'm definitely very different from when I was 25.
Mhm.
I've done a lot of therapy. I've grown so much and so much experience I've had. And I feel like a lot of people, if they get from what my experience, I've noticed that people that get married so young,
Mhm.
once they get older and they have a lot more experience, they end up getting divorced. And
Mhm.
I think that's my concern
Mhm.
in with you
Mhm.
is that you are in this belief you're hanging around all these men that are valuing youth so much.
Mhm.
And my concern is I don't want the women out there watching this to be thinking, oh shit, my worth, my value is decreasing over time. I think if anything, women's worth is increasing over time because of all the experience that we've had.
But I think there's a difference between your personal value, like your value as a person, and your value to men. And it's not a fun reality, but we can look at dating app data, anecdotal data, or just looking at people on the extremes, like the men with the most options. Who do they date? Men tend to like younger women, and youth is valuable to men because that means you can bear them children. Like I want to have like 5 kids. I'm trying to have a basketball team out here, and like I can't do that in 10 years.
I'm so glad I'm a cougar. That's all I gotta say. I love me the young guys.
Give me.
So your critique is that I might get married too young?
It's not really a critique, it's more of a concern. I'm
Okay.
concerned that I hope I only want the best for everyone,
Mhm.
and I hope that you're able to find someone that will still
Mhm.
value and worship you even after your prime childbearing age.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'll have, bared a couple kids for him by then.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully. So what about the other two? What do you think for them? One critique for each of them to help them get into a relationship possibly one day.
If I was single, not saying.
Oh
I'm
yeah, I
not,
didn't know. My
but
bad.
If I am or if I'm not.
Yeah, just one critique.
I thought we were all single here.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I didn't ask him because he was coming from Austin and he has his own big YouTube channel. So I don't make people have to be single if they're influencer in their own way.
To be honest, I really was looking at you a lot, but I really wasn't paying attention because I was trying to pay attention to you, but he kept talking a lot. So
Oh my god.
I thought you were the one that was hating on the interjections. You're the one telling her that she interjects
Well,
too
when
much.
you say something like that, you can't be surprised when I interrupt you. It was just bullshit. Go ahead.
No ad-libbing.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I don't really have a critique for you because I kept getting distracted by this guy.
Okay.
And do you got anything for him?
Good luck.
Good luck. Somebody in the people in the cat chat keep asking,
mean.
like, if you're a cougar, then why are you talking about grooming?
Ooh.
Yeah,
What?
you.
I've seen like 6 chats say
That's
that.
that's a great question.
Answer it.
Let me formulate an opinion here. Hold on.
Okay,
I'm
Think about the lie.
buffering.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No ad-libbing.
First of all, I'm not lying when I say that I'm about to give an honest answer. How about that? In my experience, I don't have enough time to groom a guy that I've been with that is younger than me because it's been very transactional. All my experience as a cougar has been very transactional and very one or two, and I'm not trying to keep them because I know that in this instance with this dude, I'm not trying to lock them down. So I've never had the opportunity to groom a guy. And that's why when you guys were asking me how many partners I currently have, I currently am with 2 different younger guys because I'm not trying to
Sheesh.
lock them down.
Do you feel like so you feel like it's different if a man dates a younger woman than if an older woman dates a younger man as far as grooming?
It's that bad.
Say that question again. Again, I keep getting distracted.
Do you feel like it's not because you brought up the grooming like with men and younger women, like you think it's different like with older women dating
No, I
younger
think
men?
it can happen. I think it can definitely happen that an older woman can definitely groom a younger man. I know for a fact that it can happen. I've never seen it, but I know that it can happen. Am I doing it? Absolutely not, because all the younger guys that I've been with, I'm not with anymore, or have I tried to lock them down
You're not
either.
trying to use them. You're not trying to use them like that guy used you, right?
Okay, let's not.
I think
go-
the reason
let's
why
not
she
jerk.
asked
I
you
know
that
it's hard to
question.
If anything, I always ask the guys, "Hey,
Are you
Are you
using the
wanting
young
to-
guys? Are you using them? What are you using them for? What benefit are you getting out of being with young
Are
guys?
you using your girlfriend, or you
No,
won't even answer if you're
ma'am,
single or not?
Don't.
So hey, this is
I
an
didn't
open
say that.
discussion.
I didn't
You're
say
asking
that.
questions. That means it's a free for all because it was her turn to talk, and now you're interjecting
asked-
ad libbing. So it looks like we both
So I'm
ad
talking to
lib.
her. So why don't
So-
you stop talking?
I'm waiting
Go
for you
ahead.
to stop and
Go
actually
ahead.
talk some sense because I'm just
I
hearing
asked her
blah
a
blah
question.
blah blah blah.
All
Beep
right.
beep boop boop boop.
If I may have the
That
mic,
didn't make any
if I
sense. Go
may,
ahead.
if I may
Exactly.
have the mic from everyone here, let me explain why I prefer younger guys at this point in my life. Okay, in this point in my life, the reason why I enjoy being with younger guys is because I feel as if the younger guys right now understand consent a lot more than guys my age. I know, this is gonna trigger someone here. Okay, but in my personal experience, guys that are my age or older don't really ask me for consent. They just expect to get a physical return from me. Whereas the guys that are younger, they're learning that consent is something that needs to be obtained a lot.
They have
and-
more time.
What do you mean they have more
They
time?
have more time. They're younger. The old dudes ain't got. They don't know when.
I mean,
they don't have.
so
any
Not
time.
my
necessarily.
personal
are you taking
experience.
your
So
clothes
my
off or not? Like that's like
my no,
Make
well,
time for things
well,
you care
well,
about.
but that's the
Age
thing. You
doesn't
can still
matter.
be naked in front of someone and still want to back out. And so I really the past few guys that I've been with,
Get your pants on.
literally as we're literally about to take our clothes off, they ask me, do I have your consent? And I say yes. And then literally mid coitus, they'll also ask me, do I have your consent? And I've never experienced that from a guy that is my age or older. Never has a guy
nobody
a
does.
millennial
I'm
or older.
23 and I've never said that.
I've never asked for
Because
consent.
That's weird.
Why would you? Why would I?
It's just
Why would
I
I?
think it's
that
hot.
is scary.
God.
That
Think
is
about it.
scary.
When-
It's sexy,
It's
honestly.
like she gets naked. It's like, are you sure you want me to fuck you?
Yes, that is to me.
At
That's
what-
like that's.
again using the F word.
I
we'll
love
probably
that.
choose a different word.
I think
I think that is
Are you
hot.
sure you want me to dick you down? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they don't have to ask it like that, But I
answer
do,
would be
I
no.
do actually find that very attractive and very sexy when
I
a man
don't.
makes
I
sure.
don't.
Again, personal
Oh my
opinion.
god.
Pearl's about
Yeah,
that natural. You're about that natural,
Personal
right?
opinion.
You're about that
If
natural
if
life.
I was taking off my clothes
Mhm.
and then he says, "Are you sure?" I'd be like, "Well, not now."
Pearl,
Like,
let
do
me
you
ask
have
you-
something?
Let me ask you a
Like-
question.
like
you
Let me ask you a
because
question.
I'd be offended. I'd be
Let me
like,
ask
"I
you a
just
question.
got nailed."
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question.
But you can change your
Why
mind.
are you
though.
taking off the clothes in the same room if you're
You can
not ready?
always change your mind.
I don't
Why?
think
No, no,
we're-
no.
But
we're not
grooming
saying-
Why
doesn't have
are
to
you
do with
getting
sex,
naked in the
right?
same room
Because
if
you
you're
might,
not
you
ready?
might, you might feel pressured
Keep
into
your
it.
goddamn clothes on.
You might feel pressured into
Keep
it.
your goddamn clothes
But-
on.
Okay.
But
Well, there's
You can go to
drugs
sleep fully
involved.
dressed.
So this is another thing. Like, he's canceled off the platform, so I'm not going to name his name. But this is one thing he talks about, right? There were a lot of things building up to that position, right? So you got all the way to the bedroom. You probably went on a date with this dude. You took off your clothes and all of this stuff, and now you want to say, "Oh, I'm switching gears." And how many times has this happened? Because you said that this has happened with a lot of dudes your age. So it sounds like you might be the problem. It might not be the guys your age. And I'm not
And maybe
saying
I am.
I'm not
Maybe.
saying that people should be taking advantage of women by any means. What I'm saying is, if you see yourself in that position, a lot of times maybe you're the person putting yourself in that position.
And I will take full responsibility, and I will say maybe I am the problem.
You're not really from Venezuela.
Okay.
What does that have anything
Don't
to
worry
do
about
with it?
Because you're not really from there. That's why you don't get it.
Did you ever critique him?
dude.
Did
Don't
you ever
read a
give him a
book,
good
though.
critique?
South
I just said good
America,
luck
Yeah.
because
In
there's
South
no.
America, this is not an
he-
issue.
Listen to a
He's so
podcast that's not
close-minded
this
that
one.
anything that I would say would bounce off.
No,
so.
no. I'm open-minded. That's why I went to Brazil.
Really?
I
What
went
does that have to do with
closed-minded would be
being
staying in the United States.
Yeah. If you don't want to
So
be
you
here,
wanna find
adios.
someone- you wanna
Bye,
find
get
a
out. If you don't
submissive
want to be
woman.
here, you have freedom to leave.
I'm
That's the
leaving.
beauty of America.
I'm gonna be gone before the weekend is up.
Oh,
But to answer your question, what's your name? I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Dawn. Yes, Chef Dawn. I remember that now. I'm sorry. To answer your question, it can happen that you get naked in front of someone and then you decide to change your mind.
Get your passport.
I do. I have my Venezuelan and my
Well,
American.
I'm talking to the men.
Okay.
The men watching.
That's all.
Everybody get
So
the
I
likes.
do
So,
Yeah, that's true.
here,
You can change your
I-
mind.
I want to hear your
appreciate when
critique.
Can we touch on one more thing?
Yeah, we'll go ahead real quick.
So the reason why we were all laughing at the one thing of, oh, do I have your consent? Do I have your consent? On a balance of probabilities, a lot of times that does not happen, right? I'm not saying I'm just
And it
jumping
sucks,
at women,
and it should
right?
change.
But the point where you get your consent is where you go in to kiss a girl, or when you start to take off your clothes. A lot of people aren't saying, "Do I have your consent?" It's kind of like an implied
It,
thing.
sh- it
right?
should. I think that should change.
That's
in
just
my
the
opinion.
reality.
Keep your
Please-
clothes on.
Please don't change it.
Keep
Please
your
don't.
if you don't
No,
if you
please
don't
don't.
want to
I find
have
that
sex,
in
keep
this
your
day
clothes
and
on.
age, in this day and age, especially with men, mid-coitus hashtag.
Just tell them you're gonna go.
I really think that because there's a lot of women, the Me Too movement, I really think that it would behoove you to ask women that you're hooking up with, do I still have your consent?
Because a lot of them are lying.
Yeah. At
What?
what point do we draw the line? Is it each article of clothing,
Just
or
keep your
like
clothes
what-
on.
All
Just
right,
keep
yeah,
them
like-
come on.
Just keep
like,
them
Just
on.
vibe it.
Just
Just
keep
vibe
your
it out.
clothes on and vibe in
Just
jeans
vibe
and a
it.
t-shirt.
So what if you vibed it 2 times? Does that invalidate?
In my
situation?
personal experience, I had a dude that was 21 that asked me twice.
No.
Once before taking off her clothes, and the second time, as I mentioned, mid-coitus.
Okay. Well, not here. I want to hear your critiques for these three though. After
honestly,
everybody's
could I just like a group critique? Could I do
done.
that?
Yeah, if you can, if you got something that's for all. three
Don't
of them.
generalize.
Yeah, please.
I prefer my critique individual.
Yeah, don't
please.
generalize.
Oh,
You've been on the
okay.
Yeah,
individualism
yeah.
the
Do
whole
an
time.
individual
Yeah,
one.
because y'all are just throwing out random numbers. Okay, I'll invite into
Don't-
the.
don't
I just kind of. It's
generalize.
all the same
That's
thing
rude.
for everybody,
Mm.
but
I just want to feel special here. So
I mean, we're all.
Yeah,
we're all
everybody's
cool,
different.
We're all special. Like we all have value.
okay.
So I just, to you, it's been very nice. I mean, I thank you for being here, everybody, and I'm honored to be here. I know my view take is kind of different from like secular dating, and that's fine. That's why I'm here. But for you, I mean, nice meeting you. Obviously, I disagree with almost everything you say. I think you said one thing. I was like, yeah, maybe, but still wasn't a full agreement. I mean, I don't know any of you guys or any of your platforms or anything, so I'm just kind of going off of like what I hear today. I went in blind. I didn't know the topics either, but I just kind of urge you to. This kind of goes with everybody, but kind of reevaluate the definition of value, because you're saying like, oh, this person doesn't have value. This person doesn't have value. We all have value.
Yeah.
Different people have different views on where that value comes from. For me, it's from God. People have passed. People have been to prison. People have committed crimes. People have committed adultery, like horrible things, and they can change and they can turn around from that. And I believe in miracles every day. Like, we're all walking miracles. And I've had my own health issues, and it was a miracle they found it, because I could have had a stroke at 29, and I'm pretty fit, going back to all that. But like, it's a blessing to be here, and just, you have value, and you have value. I disagree with everything that y'all say, really. But I urge you to kind of, reevaluate that.
I didn't say that anyone doesn't have value. I said they have less value.
Okay, well, still, I disagree with that.
And I also said sexual market value.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I didn't say personal value. I said sexual market.
So yeah, I disagree with that. I
Yeah.
think everyone does have market value. I feel weird.
Sexual market value is like your value in the sexual marketplace.
Okay, well,
so
still.
like for example, a 21-year-old and an 85-year-old woman, like there's more guys lined up to date a 21-year-old woman than an 85-year-old woman.
Okay, and that's thank you for your opinion.
That's not an opinion.
I think
that is not a goddamn opinion.
You're just
In your
no.
I would love to go
Fuck
down the
that.
line.
You're not
Would
about
love-
to no.
would
Fuck
love-
that.
Is this thing
You're
on?
not
Can we
about to
mute
keep
his
doing
mic?
that.
Would love to go.
I feel
We
like
gotta-
I'm also
You
not
are
a
not-
lesbian. I love men.
You
Just
would
to
not.
point that out.
You're not gonna keep doing that. That's bullshit.
Why are
I
you
can do
telling her
whatever
what
I
to do?
want, honey.
Why?
It's
Don't
a free-
tell her
it's-
what to do.
It's a free country. You can both fuck.
Yeah,
your
and I
life
can
up if
do
you
whatever I
to.
want. You're
Absolutely.
exactly.
And you know what?
Totally right. It is a free country. God
But
bless.
thank you very much for saying that. You were so accurate, and she was so inaccurate.
Okay.
In your
But-
Well, my
opinion.
original point was we all do have value. Obviously, if you're older, the health issues, if you're talking about fertility, that's what you're alluding to, fertility specifically, then yes. And there are so many
attractiveness. So
subjective.
No.
But
an 85-year-old woman.
I would
Is
love
it-
to finish a point.
Okay.
Wow. Thanks. Appreciate that. Thank
Get
you.
to it.
But there's so many kids, and I work with foster care kids as well through my nonprofit. There's so many kids in the foster care system that need a home. So even if you are older and you're not able to have children, there's people in their 20s that are not able to have children. There are kids you can foster. And yes, it is expensive, but you make time for things you care about, and you put money towards things you care about. So it's possible. You can go and adopt, you can go and foster. And if I never get married, there's worse things in the world. I would love to adopt a child in the foster care system, maybe that of a minority community as well, because there's a lot of kids that are from the minority communities that are in foster care.
Preach.
And that's my passion. So I will fulfill my goals of being a mom, whether a man or not is involved. But I just kind of urge you, like the sexual market value. I don't like how we're talking about humans like we're talking about cars. So I just kind of urge you guys to reevaluate that definition.
I think you're conflating. I don't think you know the definition of value, right? So whenever she's saying sexual market value, that means that to men, right, this demographic of women is more attractive, right?
Okay.
So you're saying
Great.
you're coming at it from an opinion, what you're doing. I feel like all of us have value, right, in our own ways. When she's saying it, it's a fact, right? More men like younger women than men like 85-year-old women. That is a fact. That is not an opinion. That is a fact.
Isn't there
Okay,
like a high
cool.
STD rate amongst older people right now, especially because they're having a lot of sex in old people homes? Like, isn't that
But
like
Well,
so?
the
Oh, they
STD
don't know that
The
research.
STD does
They
not
never
leave.
read it.
The STD does not leave the nursing home. Then
right, like what?
What are you
That doesn't-
talking
Okay,
about?
well,
Maybe
still-
it
That
is.
makes no. Would you
They-
date an 85-year-old man?
Maybe she
Date?
likes that.
Would
I
anybody?
might like it.
Would
I might.
yes or no?
I
No, I
personally
wouldn't.
like younger, so I'm
Again,
85.
personal opinion,
85.
honey.
I know, but
Personal
can you
opinion.
just say
There's
yes
gold
or no?
diggers out there.
So if
There's gold diggers
if
out there.
6 out,
Are
let's
you
just-
rude? Yes or no?
what's up with all these
It's a yes.
possibilities?
Right, like
What's up with all
That's
these
what we're
possibilities?
saying.
I
That's
know
all you
don't-
guys have been
so-
doing is giving
just like this,
possibilities.
just like this.
No,
If you would go to build a house, right? Would you
Oh,
hire
Lord.
me or would you hire a
I
house
love that
builder?
you just get
No, because
so
they have
triggered by
more
everything.
value to you in that home
I mean, if
building.
you're new and you're starting the house building business, I might hire you, give you a shot. If you're a
See-
young man looking for a job, those
But
Chick-fil-A
it's
workers,
like-
I
it's
love
like,
them. They're
okay,
young and
but
they're at it,
Th-
working
this
hard.
Is, this,
period.
is, this is the crazy thing. Like the need to be right is so strong with you. Where I know you know what we're saying, but you just pretend
Y'all
not
oughta be
to.
ashamed
I
of
think we all want to
yourselves.
be right.
No,
right?
No, it's.
Mm,
I
think
mean,
so.
I think when you're arguing that an 85-year-old woman and a 21-year-old woman have the same amount of suitors, it's just a need to be right.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thanks. Going back to my turn to talk. Again, just I like and appreciate you because you were the most respectful. we still were lacking some respect on this side as well. I tried to listen. I'll speak for myself. I could have been
Victim.
better about that, which I am happy to work on. But appreciate you voicing your opinions. Again, urge you to kind of reevaluate how you view women, how you view relationships, because I see we want this traditional relationship, but we're also not practicing those traditional values in our dating life. So I kind of urge you to practice what you preach. For you, Austin, I I admire your strength in being wanting to be right and your strength in voicing your opinions.
Don't do that.
That's I don't know. My mommy always told me if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, nothing you say is true. That's why.
Again, truth, honestly, truth to me, the Bible, that's truth to me. That it's different for everybody
the
what
Bible
truth
says
is.
be fruitful and multiply. So if you don't
Yeah,
do that,
and
you're
I
not
would
following
love
the
to do
Bible.
that. And even if I can't have kids or it's too late for me or I never get married, oh my God, the worst thing in the world, which it's not. I can take a child into my home and raise that child as my own.
That's selfish. It's selfish.
Adopting a child is
it's
selfish?
selfish. It's selfish to be a single mother and not bring it and not.
I
have
think
a
it's
dad
better
in the
than
home.
foster home.
You're putting the kid at every statistical disadvantage. Give it to someone with two
With the
parents.
stats.
Someone.
We're just making up
No,
stats.
and I actually know a lot about
Just use
adoption
logic.
because my parents adopted 3 kids. But,
Yeah.
And
Great.
and
Good
I
for
know a
them.
lot of the issues that come with the foster system, and I've actually
Yes.
experienced a lot of them firsthand.
Yes.
But I would never, even on my 3 siblings, wish them to be in a single parent home. I think
Okay.
that is incredibly selfish.
May I ask?
Okay,
May
great.
I ask?
Here,
Mine-
I'm
good
gonna
for
let
you.
you. I'm gonna let her go now. So give
Um,
give a critique for each one.
Austin, you're cool. I just feel like I don't know how you are in your relationships.
You don't.
So it's just kind of like I don't know I can't really be like, oh, you need to do this, that, and the third to get in a relationship. The only thing I would say is the interrupting, but I'm sure if you had a girlfriend, you might let her speak, right?
My girlfriends love me.
Okay,
Why are you saying
that's my only thing
Love
is the
20
interrupting.
Why, are you, ma'am?
Oh.
Look,
It's okay.
why are you
Okay.
single? I'm 23.
Oh, you're young.
I don't have a problem
Yeah.
answering
See,
that
you don't
question.
even pay attention because I said that at the beginning of the show.
No, I just so immature. It all makes sense now. Actually,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Here,
My bad.
just let her
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
really
yeah,
quick.
yeah, don't be rude.
Here, go ahead.
Okay, so
Try. You
yeah,
try.
like I was saying, the only thing was which it was kind of going back and forth. So the interrupting that's the only problem I can think of. It's just
It's not a real
you're
problem.
it's not. So it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So next.
Yeah.
Dawn, yeah, you're real cool. I feel like you can see both sides of things. Maybe the one why'd you cover your mouth?
I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, maybe the one thing I would change. I don't know. You're a good communicator, so I feel like you'll be good in a relationship. Pearl, happy to meet you. You're really cool too. I feel like I like women who play devil's advocate, and I feel like you'll find a man that'll be on your energy. You just got to find a man with the same energy. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, no, that was some good advice, y'all. Nah, so we're gonna start wrapping it up, but man, thank y'all all so much for coming, ladies. Thank y'all so much. Y'all did
feminists lost.
amazing, guys.
you.
Thank y'all so much for coming, Pearl. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, this
We're
is
gonna-
dope. This is only your
Damn.
first month,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
This is
it's
dope podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Pearl. No, I'm happy. Thank you so much for coming, and y'all, thank y'all for so much for coming. Like the video before y'all leave. Please share it to everybody, and we will.
Oh,
see
one
y'all.
thing before you go. I just want to say thank you again, Pearl, for traveling all the way from the UK. I'm super blessed to just be around you. I've watched all your content. Good luck to my boy Austin. I really hope that you have safe travels overseas. And Emily, Bree, and Katie. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I was just
All good.
thank you guys so much for being here. I know that it's very hectic and everything. And everybody that's watching, please follow them on their Instagram.
Can
slide
we
their
give our
DMs.
handles again?
Of course.
I guess I'll go first. My Instagram handle is extravertedly Emily. Extravertedly, because I'm extra.
Period. Mine's KT, just letter K, letter T, Dowden, Dowden.
Mine is Bree.sellingdallas. So if you need a realtor, I'm your girl.
Hit her
or a
up.
florist. So
My Instagram is just .pearlythings. You have to type out the whole thing because they shadow ban me. Sad. But I'm also on YouTube, just Pearly Things, and I'm also on. Oh, I'm on TikTok too. I'm on my 4th account, but it's just Pearly Things .4 and just Pearly Things .5 and just Pearly Things 6 because they be taking them away. So I got like 3.
All right, what's up, everybody? Chef Dawn on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and the Chef Dawn on Instagram and Twitch.
Auston Holleman. Like Pearls, I'm on my 2nd TikTok account. I've been shadow banned on Instagram since 2018.
Sorry.
The link to everything is AustonHolleman, Auston Holleman. Follow that account if you want to see me in more feminist careers like these over here.
All right. Thank y'all guys so much. And all that is going to be tagged in the description, guys. It's already there. So click those links, go to their Instagrams, add them up, hit them up if
Slide
you're
their
single.
DMs.
Slide in them DMs, guys. All
Katie
right.
needs a man.
All right, yeah. We will see y'all later, though. Y'all have a good night, and we will see you on Monday.
Thank you,
Later.
everybody.
Yeah.